It said the death of Alex Peretti was a, quote, result of the deliberate and hostile resistance by Democrat leaders in Minnesota.
Governor Walz and Mayor Frey have shamefully blocked local and state police from cooperating with ICE.
She said they've also used their platforms
to encourage left-wing agitators to stalk, record, confront, and obstruct federal officers who were just trying to lawfully perform their duties.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz spoke by phone today, and then Walz wrote a Wall Street Journal op-ed piece. CBS's Wendy Gillette with more on that.
Governor Walz writes that the Trump administration is bringing a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota that's not just, legal, and is not making anyone safer. He asserts that the actions of ICE agents, including the deadly shootings of Renee Good and Alex Peretti, are bringing chaos that is illegal and un-American.
The American Academy of Pediatrics has released its updated recommendations for what vaccines children should get. It's a routine revision, hardly different from last year's recommendations, but it carries more significance this year as more states and doctors are relying on it instead of a new controversial schedule from the CDC. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
The AAP says recent CDC changes move away from long-standing medical evidence and don't do enough to protect kids from preventable diseases. The AAP's schedule sticks closer to past guidance and focuses on real-world risks for kids in the U.S.
The AAP recommends children be vaccinated against 18 diseases, 6 more than the CDC recommends. The CDC no longer recommends childhood shots for RSV, hepatitis A and B, and the flu. Due to the massive winter storm, the University of Mississippi has canceled classes for the whole week. Snowfall totals were higher than 20 inches in multiple states due to storms. The storm that has claimed at least 15 lives. In New York City, where just over 11 inches of snow fell in Central Park. Sloppy driving today. Air travelers are trying to do something that many could not do over the weekend, fly somewhere due to the massive storm. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi is at Washington Reagan National Airport.
Yesterday was the worst day for flying since the start of the COVID pandemic. About 12,000 flights canceled nationwide. Now that's going to reverberate for the next couple of days.
Stocks are trading up on Wall Street today. The Dow has climbed 322 points. The Nasdaq has jumped over 138. This is CBS.
Follow and listen to CBS News Roundup on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Governor Ferguson just wrapped up a press conference addressing the latest incident in Minnesota. Details straight ahead, but first your KIRO Newsradio traffic, and there isn't any. All of our major routes are wide open right now, with the exception, of course, of our Revive I-5 backup at the Ship Canal Bridge. And right now, it is just a brief 1-mile backup as you approach the bridge. All of our ferries are on schedule, and our passes are clear with no restrictions. Olympia to Tacoma will take you a half hour. South Center to Bellevue, 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle, a half hour. This report brought to you by the Tacoma Home and Garden Show, and it is presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discounts, go to TacomaHomeandGardenShow.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Governor Bob Ferguson is preparing for a potential showdown with federal immigration agents. He made the announcement at a press conference with AG Nick Brown this morning to discuss what's happening in Minnesota.
As angry as we both are, we are focused on preparing to the fullest extent possible for a similar escalation by ICE against our will here in Washington State.
He said he has met with the head of the State of National Guard to discuss options, but did not go into details. A reporter asked him if Guard troops might serve as some sort of buffer with ICE during protests, and Ferguson said, quote, "That's a fair way to put it." Less than 2 weeks from now, the Seattle Seahawks will play in their 4th Super Bowl, and the 12s are ready.
And what it means to be a Seahawk fan is to believe that you are a number 1, not a number 2, because number 2 is a first loser, and we are not losers. We're winners.
It's everything. Go Hugs.
Been a Seahawk fan all my life. My family's had tickets from the opening day. It's in the blood. You got to love it. Go Seahawks!
The Hawks will play the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. They took out the LA Rams 31-27 last night in the NFC Championship game at Lumen Field. A man was shot and killed by deputies Sunday morning in Parkland after officials say he stabbed a man and his dog. KIRO 7's Dee Sun has more details.
He claims a man came up to him and asked what his religion was. He told deputies he mentioned being a Christian, and that is when the suspect suddenly attacked the victim, stabbing both him and his dog. Deputies spotted him on 112th Street. They say he ran behind a house, and when officers followed, shots were fired.
Neighbors said recent crime in the area has left them feeling unsafe. The Pierce County Force Investigation Team is leading the investigation into the shooting. Big changes for Eddie Bauer in Seattle. Sources tell the Puget Sound Business Journal the company laid off its marketing and creative teams. Those cuts happened January 14th with final separation in early February. It's not clear how many people lost jobs, but the Seattle headquarters had about 88 employees at the start of the year. Sources say operations there are winding down, leaving the company's future in the city uncertain. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Cloudy all week. Today is the driest and sunniest, eventually turning to partly sunny skies this afternoon. Rain develops by Wednesday, and those showers will stick around into the weekend with highs in the low 50s. We're 37 and mostly cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Behold, a fiendish masterpiece from the bowels of hell! Mondays, boy, I hate Mondays. They make me so steamed. Weekends, I go for the weekends! Son of a...
Whoops. Happy Monday to you. Jake Skorheim here, Spike O'Neill sitting right there. Spike.
Yes, sir.
We did it.
We did it. We did our part.
We did our part.
Yes, we did.
We won. Oof. Champions. NFC champions.
NFC champions.
It feels really good. And it
already
feels like...
already ordered the T-shirt.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, I was flooded with ads. You know, I go to social media afterwards just to revel in it, just to roll around. Like it's like digital confetti.
Sure.
When you get on social media immediately after the game.
Perfect way to describe it.
Right?
Yeah, if you couldn't be down there at the stadium.
You just bathe in the glory and wonder and of the collective joy of triumph.
To watch the entire sports world acknowledge the king.
Yep. Amen. Amen.
That's what it felt like.
So I bought the T-shirt. Luckily, I was talked out of by a coworker. The $16,000 investment in Super Bowl tickets. I was talked out of it. In a moment, they walked me back from the edge.
I think they made a mistake. I think they made a mistake.
Okay.
Honestly.
Fair enough.
It is
as we
now know,
I can still go back in the pool.
It is few and far between.
It is.
You cannot count on ever getting back to the Super Bowl.
That's right.
You just never know. Look at the Broncos. The Broncos should have been going to the Super Bowl. They were well on their way. They were looking great. Mm-hmm. They were going to win that game against New England. They were going to do it.
Couldn't hope for a better start.
At
home.
Well, no. But I'm saying just stuff happens.
Oh, yeah.
The leg break.
Oh, Bo Nix his ankle.
Or the ankle break.
Yeah.
And that's your season.
Here comes old man winter. You get your backup. You could be going up 10-zip. Here comes old man winter. Anyway,
it was phenomenal last night.
Let me get back on this aftermarket.
What a great game.
Here.
What a fantastic game. This is the final play. This is what it sounded like.
Shotgun snap to Stafford. 9 seconds left. Stafford looks, fires. Ball is caught. Puka Nacua slides out of bounds. No! Clock keeps moving. Nacua on. We are going to the Super Bowl. Take your helmets off. Players, they're breaking the glass next door. A completion to Puka Nacua. He can't get out of bounds.
Just confirming the runner was down in bounds. The game is now over.
Yes.
Seahawks win.
Seahawks win. And
tell you what, man.
Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
Going back. First time in 11 years.
Yes, sir.
It takes 11 cheers. What was that movie from? Do you remember that?
I don't know that.
She was talking about I think she was talking about getting over a breakup. What is that movie from? Jeez Louise. Somebody's going to text it in.
Well, you know, it's funny. I haven't been back to that 11 years ago. I haven't been back. Haven't watched that game. Have not watched that game.
Would it be mean of us to play the end of the 2015? I mean, it was 14, 15.
Super Bowl 49.
It was 49.
Yeah.
Seahawks are about to win their second Super Bowl in a row.
Yeah.
I feel like we should play it in a way as a way to cast it behind us now. I mean, it's already behind us.
Exercise that demon.
I still feel emotions from it.
I haven't watched it. I have avoided the replay. I've never seen that play again.
It's devastating.
I've never watched it. It's crushing. It's still
crushing.
But
Do we
now
dare play it?
Sure, because we have the elixir now. We're going back.
We have the antidote,
Yes.
which is we're back.
Yes.
Okay, I think we should play
thank
it.
you. This is
Should
a
we
moment.
play it?
It's a moment for me.
Let's play it. Okay. This was 2015.
Laura, could you grab a beer to throw at me as we relive
Describe for anybody in the audience who was, was living in a hole at the time. Describe the situation that the Seahawks found themselves in. Where on the field? How much time? I mean, just give us a little setup.
Okay, moments after Jermaine Kearse made this circus catch inside the 10-yard line. Seahawks down by 4, less than 2 minutes to go in the Super Bowl 49 in Phoenix. Yeah. They hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch, who trucks his way to the end zone, gets tripped up by his shoelace, and lands at the 1. There's now, 40-some seconds left, if memory serves me. I haven't gone back to watch it again. And after you hear this story that the Patriots were going to the plan was defensively to let Marshawn score, to preserve as much time as they can on the clock.
Because it was a fait accompli.
Because you've got Marshawn Lynch. It's second down and goal with Marshawn Lynch a foot away from the end zone.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do but maybe save as much time as possible.
It's a guarantee.
So what do the Seahawks do?
Clock still moving, down to 36. Patriots have 2 timeouts. Russell is taking his time. Second down and goal from the 1. Shifts Baldwin over to the left side. Lynch in the backfield. Russell looks, throws inside. Oh, my God, it's picked off at the goal line. It's picked off by Butler. Intended for Lockett at the goal line. Oh, my word, with 20 seconds left. A late flag comes down. Oh, my word. And the 12s are just as stunned as we are.
That was the biggest swing of emotions that I've ever felt in sports. I've never felt more of like we're on the edge of repeating, and the Seahawks are a dynasty. Remember all that dynasty talk?
Repeat. They were talking 3-peat because this one was a done deal.
And then the camera cuts over. As soon as that happened, camera cuts over, and you just see Tom Brady's beautiful face just smiling, and you're just like, it's like his perfect teeth shining.
Christmas morning for him. It's like
there's
a new bike under the tree.
Another one for Tom Brady.
Yeah,
good for him.
I'm gonna have to add some fingers to this hand.
He needs it. Exactly. Oh. Yeah, he's the only guy in history to have cosmetic surgery to add fingers for his stupid Super Bowls. But we can play that now because it doesn't have to sting anymore. We're going to put that behind us permanently, and it's going to be against the Patriots, which is great. It's all,
what a day.
You know what? Like you look back in life, and life is all leading to, it's all orchestrated. It all makes sense. We had to live through 2015 so that right now we can, in 2026, we can be back there. Think of how much more meaningful and powerful it's going to be this time when the Seahawks beat the Patriots.
Oh, it's going to be a great day.
And they should beat the Patriots. That's my only caution about this game coming up is the Seahawks have bested the best team in football aside from the Seahawks, which was the Rams. They've now beaten them. Everyone was saying that was the de facto Super Bowl, and now they're going to play this other game, which is called the Super Bowl.
The only people who aren't saying
Patriots fans.
No, the Seahawks.
No, I
Coach
know
Mike McDonald.
No, Seahawks.
I guarantee you that guy's going to spend 2 weeks getting this team fine.
Yeah, I don't want to put carts behind the horse or cart ahead of the horse. Yeah. Carts go behind the horse. That's exactly where they should go.
So much fun.
All right, I got to play this. I got to play this cut real fast, and then we'll get to other stuff. This is the thing though. In Seattle, in Washington, nobody cares about anything more than they care about the Seahawks right now. So I got to play this. How about that near disaster when Woolen got that penalty call yesterday? Can I play this cut?
Yeah.
All right. This is from the taunting call. It was all looking great, and then this happens.
Reek Woolen chases him all the way across the field and knocks that ball down.
Well, and that's exactly what I've been harping on all week is he is not good when he has to step up in the pocket or there's anybody around his feet. And, Reek Woolen, obviously great coverage.
Now there's a flag down on the far side of the field, I'm not sure about any of that. The officials are still talking things over. Clay Martin, once again, he's been a little bit busier here in the second half.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, Seattle number 27. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. It's an automatic first down. This is number 27's first unsportsmanlike towards disqualification.
That is an absolute killer.
So he hurt somebody's feelings. That's what happens. That's ridiculous.
So he hurt somebody's feelings, and then
you can play the next play.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Get
Looked like he was yelling at their sidelines.
Yeah, one of their coaches.
And then maybe Matthew Stafford as well.
Just can't do it. 1st and 10 at the Seattle 34. Stafford steps up. He's going to let it fly. Got Puka Nacua. Makes the catch. Falls across the end zone. Touchdown. Rams. Just like that. And he beat Reek Woolen on the play. Man, oh man. 2 plays by number 27. And the fans are not happy.
I mean, I wasn't at the game last night. I imagine it was the same thing at the game. You could kind of hear it on, if you're listening to the broadcast or you're watching TV, you could kind of see it in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Just the air gets sucked out of Lumen Field.
It was sweet that so many people were ready to help him move.
Yeah.
Pack up his stuff for him. I got a pickup truck.
Question for you. What do you think happens to him if they lose that game?
Oh.
Is he not invited to continue his time with the Seahawks?
I can't imagine you ever come back from that. You ever come back from that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Russell 12 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
We never came back from that.
No, you're right. You're totally right. I saw that he posted.
Was it?
Reek Woolen posted.
Yeah.
He put like a meme, like a little.
That's a little guy. That's a little guy from Madagascar, right?
I think so. And says, "I'm sorry. Do you still love me?" And then Richard Sherman responded to that, and he says, "Winning cures all. We live and learn. Have a great Super Bowl, brother." Which is true. I mean, it's because they won that game, we kind of all go, "Oh, that was a close one," but thank God.
Who do you think is going to play hardest in Super Bowl 60?
Yeah.
Who's going to play harder than Reek Woolen?
100%.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see he was the first guy over after the game? He shook the hand of.
Oh, did he?
Of McVay.
Good.
He was over there. First thing he did after that win.
Smart.
Was go shake the hand of the opposing coach because he knew he'd stepped in.
That's
Emotions
the right
got the best of him. Yeah,
that's the right move.
Yeah, but if winning didn't fix everything, nothing would have fixed that.
No, you're totally right. All right, let's move on to some other stuff. We're going to talk more Seahawks in just a little bit. We're going to talk to Mike Lefkoe. We're going to do a little preview of the Super Bowl coming up, and I think he actually gets to go down for the Super Bowl, which is fun. And then also John Curley, our very own John Curley, who's on right after us from 3 to 7. He was at the game last night. He and his son went to the game.
Yeah, they shared that memory of a lifetime there.
Which is why I'm going to try to convince you when John comes on that you should buy tickets to the Super Bowl. Okay. Very pricey, but we'll see. It's it's one of those memories you're just not going to forget. All right, lots of stuff to still talk about. Winter storms all around the country, like massive, massive snowstorms. I saw there was something like over 100 million people were affected by this storm. They had tons of people without power. All these schools closed down. Some places got as cold as minus 35. Did you see that? Minus 35?
See the 2 inches of ice that were formed on power lines and tree limbs and...
Not snow, ice.
Ice. I think there were 17 deaths have been attributed to this storm so far.
Jeez,
horrific. Tragic.
Here's something that I thought was kind of crazy, though. I saw these schools. They're doing this thing now where they don't close schools. They do remote learning on those days. What do you think about that?
When will we stop having the pandemic rear its ugly head?
Is this a pandemic thing? I'd never heard of this before pandemic.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's right, your boys. That's right. So the entire world reconfigured how we can do business, do schooling.
Sure.
Through remote learning. I mean, we were at a school in this state for far longer than we needed to be, a year and a half, I think, without
King
classes.
County employees are still remote working.
Right. So school figured out how they can set up quickly, and part of it is the new era of education, which is so technical. Kids nowadays are handed a tablet instead of a stack of textbooks.
Yeah.
So you've got access at home.
Which I think is a huge mistake.
Screen time is a problem all kids moving forward will always have to deal with.
Yeah.
So now you can just flip a switch, log in here, blah, 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 blah. So kids who used to have a day off from school for the weather, for playing in the snow, now have to sit at home and remote learn.
Pretend to learn when they're not actually learning. You know what's such a shame about that? Those are core memories. Snow days are core memories. I remember those when I was a kid. They were few and far between. We don't get that kind of heavy snow here.
Nah.
But when we do, you never forget it. You never forget what it's like to be, because it's bonus time. You should be in school right now. Your little brain can't comprehend it. You're like, I should be in class right now, but I'm sledding. I'm throwing a snowball at my brother.
I saw something on a quick social media hit. I don't know if this mother is the mother of the year or an insidious monster, because the announcement went out that this particular school, I think it was Ohio, school district was closed. The mom woke her kids up and said, "I tell you what, guys, if you clean the house, I'll let you skip school today." And they got video of this.
She had told them?
They're sweeping the floor. They're doing windows. They're clearing. That's
genius.
Genius?
That's genius
Okay.
parenting. Because everybody wins. She gets a clean house. She feels good about it. The kids, they get a school day off. They feel like they earned it. So it's not even, it's like even better.
Right.
And then years later, she'll tell them the truth, and then everybody laughs.
Laughs at the wedding. Let them at the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you tell them.
That's great advice. You know, the remote learning thing really is, I do think it is a real problem. I don't think they should be doing that. I hope that they do.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a problem to the extent with which it was required and used last time?
Well, okay, for sure.
Yeah.
During the pandemic when they shut down for a
when
whole year.
When you've got a required number of school days, is it better to remote learn during a snowstorm or extend the school year at the end of the year?
Extend it.
Really?
Yeah, extend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come?
Because snow days are awesome.
Yeah.
And they're more valuable for a child's life than...
Because it's a well-rounded experiential learning.
Yeah, it's the whole package of everything.
Okay.
So you have to stay one extra school day. It's because the teachers don't like it. It's not because the kids don't like it.
June's overrated anyway.
Kids are having fun with their friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're fine with it. It's because the teachers don't want to do it. You know what they could do? They could just not have those days. I would be fine with them having snow days and just not making those up. And I know by law they're required to have so many in-school days.
Yeah.
But if they could shake off a whole year for remote learning like they did during the pandemic, I'm sure they can come up with a way around it. Seems ridiculous.
We're adaptable, so clearly.
We're adaptable.
The fact that you're remote learning anyway shows that we are.
They just didn't. But I still hold a grudge, the remote learning thing. My oldest was in kindergarten at the time. It was his first experience in proper elementary school, and his entire year was staring at a little computer.
Yeah,
he wasn't even allowed to go to school with his friends, which he hadn't even really made yet because he was in kindergarten.
Sure,
and kids he knew he saw on screen.
The long-term impact of that was horrible. Horrible. You know, it's funny. I have a friend who's a teacher, and he said it was so hard on the teaching staffs to do this because it wasn't the teachers deciding to do this. It was the school boards. It was the state legislators. It was the gubernator.
It's Jay Inslee. I was going to say Jay Leno.
No, it was, it was comedy what he was doing. My buddy said watching the screen, it's like that Brady Bunch thing where you're watching 32 faces.
Yeah.
Said the additional anxiety and stress and fatigue of trying to, maintain these. Are these kids giving me their attention? Are they playing on their phones while they're, he said it was horrible from every perspective, teachers as well as students.
Yeah. No good. All right, real quick.
We got so spared. I mean, we are knock wood, man.
We got spared.
I mean, this blast.
Oh, from the weather.
Yeah, I mean, this blast is lethal in many, many places. 17 states had over a foot of snow.
I had a friend who's trying to fly to Dallas.
Oh,
you don't think of Dallas as a place affected by something like this, but Dallas, they couldn't get the incoming because those flights are all connecting through places. They couldn't get any incoming pilots or other staff. I mean, who cares if you can't get pilots? Who cares?
The kink in the system, everything delays, knocks people out of it.
Autopilot's great these days, but they don't have no pilot yet. But yeah, that's it's everywhere. All these delayed flights. I think this is the highest canceled LaGuardia.
Oh, the LaGuardia, Kennedy, and Newark.
Yes. They had more canceled flights than during the pandemic.
I saw one cutaway from a reporter where they call us remotes, where they call them.
Sure.
And you couldn't. This guy was at the airport overlooking the tarmacs and the gateways. You couldn't see the jets, the whiteout conditions of this weather front hitting these airports. Ugh. You couldn't see the jets 150 yards behind him.
Yeah.
It was just bananas.
Bananas.
It was like the Bronco game.
It was like the Bronco.
We'll get into that. Yeah, I know.
Real quick on the Bronco game.
Yeah.
You go from crystal clear, nice looking day, sun, to whiteout blizzard conditions.
Yeah. Well, you're a mile up in the sky. Here comes a cloud. Boom.
And then you can't
see. Blizzard.
There's zero scoring that happens. They're all slipping. I mean, that was crazy. You watched that one play with Drake May, and he tried to hand it off.
And the back slips, then he
slips, and then the other guy slips, and then May slips on top of him.
Unbelievable.
Wild. All right, well, it's going to be a Super Bowl between the Hawks and the Patriots. Very, very exciting. Should we get Mike Lefkoe in here and talk a little bit about it?
I need to talk more.
Let's look ahead. Let's look ahead to the Super Bowl. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
I know your child really wants a super cool e-bike. All the other kids in the neighborhood have one. But you might not realize that the e-bike you're buying your kid is really more like a motorcycle. The Washington legislature is now considering reining in some of these e-bikes/motorcycles. The changes could really impact what's available and what your kid might be able to ride. That's tomorrow's Choke Point on Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA! I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
All Americans should do what they can to prepare for the future. Donald Trump Jr. here with an important message. More and more Americans are looking for ways to diversify their hard-earned money, and gold is the perfect solution. For example, a gold IRA from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group lets you diversify your IRA or 401k into physical gold with zero taxes and zero penalties. You stay in control with a tangible asset that's held value for thousands of years. And right now, Birch Gold is offering a free info kit to help you understand how it works. Just text the word SECURE, SECURE, to 989898. There's no pressure, no obligation, just the facts. You can't predict the future, but you can be prepared, but only if you educate yourself. So take that first step right now. Text SECURE to the number 989898 today. That's SECURE to 989898.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Well, it's official. The Seahawks are going to Super Bowl 60. And if you're looking to grab tickets, KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin has some expensive news for you.
Prices are so high, you might have to take out a second mortgage on your home if you really want to cheer on the Hawks in person. Your cheapest ticket currently sits at $7,555, and that's all the way at the very tip top of Levi's Stadium.
And if you want to go all out, there are still some nicer seats available for about $36,000 per person. Dozens of tickets are still available, according to Ticketmaster. Governor Bob Ferguson says he's not ruling out deploying the National Guard in response to federal immigration enforcement.
ICE is, to be blunt, completely and totally out of control. To say that I'm angry is not the right word. I don't have the right word for how I feel about it.
Ferguson and Attorney General Nick Brown held a press conference this morning condemning ICE after a Border Patrol agent killed an ICU nurse in Minneapolis over the weekend. Ferguson says he met Sunday with the head of the Washington National Guard to discuss potential scenarios here, but declined to share details. A proposed resolution in Linwood could limit the way Customs and Border Patrol agents conduct operations in that city. It would allow local police to step in and take action if they witness excessive force being used. Councilmember Isabel Mata, upset about recent shootings in Minnesota, told KIRO 7 she's concerned something similar could happen here.
If that happens in our city, we're going to do everything we can to prevent injury, just making sure that people know that we have their back.
2 other city council members joined her in voting to discuss the resolution. The proposal is set to be discussed at a work session in February. Convicted felons in Washington state might be able to vote under a new bill being considered by the state legislature. The Seattle Times reports more than 15,000 felons could become eligible to cast ballots. House Bill 1196 will give all felons the right to vote except those facing the death penalty. Advocates say the current law is racist since minorities make up a disproportionate number of people serving time. Opponents argue taking away voting rights would, or should rather, remain a crime deterrent. Only 2 other states allow convicted felons to vote, Maine and Vermont. In celebration of its 72nd birthday, Seattle's beloved Dick's Drive-In is bringing back its 19-cent burgers. The burger joint is offering this throwback price at multiple locations this week, honoring a tradition that goes all the way back to its very first grand opening. Back in 1954, cheeseburgers were just 19 cents, even though most places charge 35. A spokesperson says the deal isn't just about the discount, it's about connecting to decades of memories for longtime fans. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic. Nothing is slowing you down this noon hour. Only Revive I-5 has a brief backup here. Northbound I-5 approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 a little crowding through the U District. And even our passes all have dry roads with no restrictions. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Cloudy, turning partly sunny this afternoon. High right around 48. It'll stay cloudy all week with rain returning by Wednesday, heavy at times. 37 and mostly cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Very excited. We're talking a lot of Seahawks today. Obviously, everybody's still abuzz after that massive win last night. We got Mike Lefko on with us right now from 710 Seattle Sports. Welcome back to the show, Mike.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm still buzzing. You still buzzing?
Yes. Yes, I am.
A big buzz, yeah. It was good that it was like a relatively early game because what I have to do after a big event where your team wins, I have to consume every form of discussion being talked about it. So watching all the coverage, just had the TV on until like that coverage went off the air.
All the post-game
flipped over
stuff.
to NFL Network, and then just had that on like the rest of the night. Like NFL Network was just on. Then scrolling through all social media to see videos from like players behind the scenes, like reaction videos to see who was saying what. So yes, full immersive, like soak it all in because it's a moment that is so rare. Like your team doesn't get to the NFC Championship game, then win it every year. When it happens, you want to revel in it. You want to take it all in.
Saw Russell Wilson's tweet, which I thought was kind of nice about Darnold, kind of wishing him all the best and hoping he wins.
Yeah, can I get tickets? He said, it's really sweet of him, yeah.
It is crazy. I mean, the last time the Hawks were in the Super Bowl, Wilson was a quarterback, and we were playing, this is what, 11 years right now since, and we played the Patriots.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to win?
I don't think Russell Wilson and Tom Brady will be the quarterbacks this time.
Yeah.
But yes, because they've been the best team all year, because I think consensus was, and it certainly looked like it based on the small sample size of the 2 games yesterday, where the Rams and Seahawks were clearly the better teams. They played an epic. That was a back and forth, 2 great teams going at it. That's an elite offense the Rams have, and they have done things now consistently that no one else has been able to do against the Seahawks. And it took everything the Seahawks had and then the game of his life from Sam Darnold to win. So it took all that to beat the Rams, and I just don't think anyone can come close to the Seahawks. Now, 2 weeks, you never know what's going to happen with prep and coaches trying to throw in a crazy game plan. But you saw last night how balanced the Seahawks are. Because the defense did struggle. They struggled for a lot of the game against a really good offense.
Sure.
The offense picked them up. The Seahawks offense picked them up. Special teams, again, picked them up with that fortuitous fall on his fanny, drop the ball, and then there we go. There's a touchdown right after that.
That's the difference in the game, too. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. Without that play, the Seahawks end up losing. Absolutely. But this, I don't even know where to start. It's hard to say there was a moment in the game because that feels like that's a moment. You're right. But what was a bigger moment? The drive at the end of the first half when the Rams had clearly taken momentum of the game and Darnold took them down the field and reclaimed the home crowd.
30 seconds.
Absolutely.
Right?
I think that's a key one. Yeah,
or
you're right.
was it the stop at the 4th and 6?
That's a big one, too.
In the game, right? Or was it keeping the ball for almost 5 minutes after you denied the Rams? Because you denied the Rams at the goal line. If you punt after 3 plays and the Rams come back, I don't know. That defense, as you said, they were on their heels.
Right. So I think I don't boil it down to a singular moment. Everything that Spike mentioned sticks out. And then just kind of the overarching theme of third downs. Like the Seahawks on third down, that won them the game. They're 7 for 13 on third downs. And maybe minor ones that didn't stick out at the time, but 3rd and 10 completion at Ken Walker, and then he runs for the first down. Or Cooper Kupp, that one was huge at the end. It's clearly because it's that crazy corkscrew spin, and he reaches for the 3rd down, but then a couple 3rd down touchdowns that the Seahawks got. The Rams were getting field goals. The Rams were 1 for 8 on 3rd downs. The Seahawks 7 for 13, and they won.
Here's a question on that kind of debated play with Kupp's spinning
first down.
over the first down.
Yep.
So the Rams had 2 timeouts going into that.
Oh, yeah. Sean McVay bungled that completely.
So Sean McVay, because he chatted with the referees for so long, they assessed him a timeout?
No, he called a timeout because he wanted more time to decide.
They have the booth watching the tape.
What the confusing thing is, at that point, why not just throw the penalty flag?
Challenge flag, yeah.
The challenge flag.
Yeah, he needed to throw that right away. And even if they lost, it's still a timeout. Yeah, he screwed up there. Yeah.
And that kind of gave us the game. I mean, when you add up all those little things, that was pretty instrumental in them not being able to stop the clock.
Well,
they got the ball back with 20 seconds left.
He used the timeout, so he would have essentially used the timeout anyway. And I don't think it would have been overturned based on their looking at it.
But later in the game, wouldn't it have been advantageous as they were running the clock down to have a timeout usable for him?
No, he still would have had the same amount of timeouts because he would have thrown the challenge flag. You lose the challenge, you lose the timeout. So he called a timeout instead. So they had 2 timeouts.
Yeah, he didn't lose timeout, but he lost the right to challenge the call.
And so he ended up, and because if he would have challenged still and then lost, then they're out of timeouts, so the game is over.
Do you think that challenge would have been lost?
Yes.
Just not enough evidence to overturn it?
I think you got to do it in that time because that's 4th down.
Yeah.
And then the Seahawks are probably going to punt, although Mike McDonald said this morning, he was talking, he goes on with Brock and Salk on our morning show, and Brock said, all right, so, hypothetically, because now it's passed.
What were you going to do?
If it was 4th down, he goes, we're going for it. So that adds another element to it, a big what if. But if you're Sean McVay and the Rams there, you have to make them get into that 4th down. There's no downside because you need to stop the clock anyway. So your challenge flag essentially is your timeout because either you get it right and it's 4th down and you use a timeout, or you've lost the challenge and the penalty is costing you a timeout. So by him calling a timeout first, he ensured that he wouldn't be able to do a challenge because then it would have been so punitive. They would have been out of timeouts and the clock's completely gone.
Let me ask you guys this question. We were talking about this a little bit earlier on the show, but what do you think would have happened? This is since we're talking about worst case scenarios.
That's why they call it Monday morning quarterback.
Okay, so let's imagine for a second some horrible universe. The Seahawks had lost that game. And what happens to Woolen?
Well, he's a free agent at the end of this year anyway. So that's been a big debate all season. We've talked about this all year with this 2022 draft class. Who's going to get an extension? Like Ken Walker and Rick Woolen are the big ones because Abe Lucas already got extended. Charles Cross already got extended. We have talked about those 2.
If they don't extend Walker at this point.
So he probably crystallized that he's back. Rick Woolen clearly is gone if the Seahawks lose
But they
because
won.
of that. Yeah, so maybe you do bring him back.
I think you saw his tweet, his funny post he put on, the little sad cat from
Sad kitty, yeah.
I think, we've seen the Seahawks lose some corners that they've liked before because they're not willing to pay exorbitant amounts, and some teams will overpay.
Sure.
And because they know they have massive extensions coming, you're going to have to pay Devin Witherspoon and JSN and probably Nick Eamon-Worry now. Now, these are like 2-3 years down the road, but in budgeting for all of that, if Reek Woolen's going to get a ton of money from somewhere else, you can't bring him back. So I don't think he comes back unless the Seahawks give him a deal that's, quote, team friendly. And he's like, I want to be here. We're Super Bowl champs, or we just got to the Super Bowl. One of those things. Yeah. But if he just goes highest bag out there, he's probably gone.
It's ironic because I think that play probably cost him some money on the open market yesterday. It's hard to,
probably.
That play probably helps Seahawks because he's probably affordable now. The Seahawks won't have to pay like exorbitant amounts of money to keep him because he costs himself a lot of money.
Because
he's damaged goods.
But teams also see freak athleticism and just the pure size, ranginess, all that.
And you like the emotions. You like somebody who's playing with all their heart. You just want them to reel it in a little bit. You could also make a good argument. Like when you go back and you watch that penalty, it's not good. He technically did something he shouldn't have done, but that was a pretty big moment for them to call that penalty. Yeah. And I'm sure that's being debated everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's more of when you see the wide camera angle of him like actually walking into the sideline.
Yeah,
he's like almost on their bench.
Yeah.
Had he been in the field of play, okay, then that's maybe a little too much. But he had like walked to their sideline. He's almost in their bench, I think. So that's okay. That's a little too much.
But he sat down and he put on Stafford's helmet.
Spit in it. Yeah. If they'd issued a warning there, that would have also been a pretty reasonable thing to say, right?
So according to according to the pool report, so the referees, there's one reporter goes to interview the referees afterwards, and the head official takes questions. So they asked him about that, and according to the referee, he said, well, the sideline judge was warning him. He goes, all right, back off. That's enough. Walk away. Now, maybe Woolen didn't hear him. It was probably loud. I imagine you're so locked in. You just got to stop to make it fourth down. That stadium's nuts. You're up 11. You got a fourth down stop. I bet he didn't hear him. He's so locked in. But if the official said, look, I told him, all right, back off, and he didn't, and it's right in front of the officials, and then the official said that's kind of blatant continued.
I mean, it's an NFC championship game. You got
I think there shouldn't be taunting at all.
Going on.
I mean, taunting as a penalty makes no sense.
Well, I hear all night long how these officials are like, well, you let them rough it up in the end zone because you don't want to call to determine the outcome of an entire season's worth of work. And that one likely could have. Easily could have.
Think about the hilarity of just, if you're talking about football, it's a violent sport. It's a sport of pure aggression and hype and adrenaline. What does it matter if you're saying mean words to someone? Right. You're not physically doing anything. I mean, you're just feeling like, oh, no, you're hurting my feelings. Yeah. So taunting as a penalty never really made sense to me. But it's there. It's a rule. And
they should change it. I agree. They should allow taunting.
Yeah, get rid of taunting.
They should get rid of
get rid of the penalty. Allow taunting in its finest form.
We want taunting. All right, that's Mike Lefkoe, 710 Seattle Sports. Thanks for coming in, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, go Seahawks. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
The John Curley Show.
If you do get tickets and you are lucky to be able to go,
weekdays 3 to 7.
You have to stand the whole time. We are actually affecting the game. I took Rye to a game last year, and we were really disappointed. The people are sitting the whole time. Rye goes, I'm standing the whole game. I don't get people behind me. Too bad. Too bad. I'm here for the game. Yeah. What are you out there dating your sister?
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube, weekdays 3 to 7, and download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, that hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling, into your attic, and out your roof that's far past its half-life. That sounds cold and expensive. Get this, 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic, so if your furnace is working overtime, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. You can bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you're going to save an additional 10% off the entire project. Plus, with Valentine's financing options, they make it easy. No matter what your home needs, insulation, gutters, siding, or new roof, you are guaranteed the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, extra-mile service, even in this winter weather. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which keeps my wife and kids happy. I trust them to help you, too. To lock in your winter bundle savings, call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I wanted to.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident Book Series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. You know, Spike and I solve crimes from time to time. Small, petty crimes, not big ones. Really, we're more into like if somebody's missing a mini donkey.
or two.
Or two. That was a big one for us.
That was our biggest success today.
If somebody is looking for, what was some of our
Stolen Liberty Bell.
Stolen,
right?
Missing Liberty Bell replica.
That's right.
We're the guys to call.
We got that one too.
Yeah.
We've had some success.
If you need help identifying vehicles that were suspected to be involved in certain crimes, like break-ins of things, if there's any pictures of videos of vehicles, we're pretty good at identifying vehicles as well.
Yeah.
But this is a different one. This is actually, this has to do with the vehicle, but this case already was solved.
Well, yes and no.
That's a perfect crime for us. There's nothing left to do.
Well, maybe we can still help. Here's the thing. Chris Anderson is a local drummer. If you've ever been to a ball game and see the guy set up with a full drum kit and he's playing along to like a music track outside of
a stadium,
outside the stadium, whether it's a Mariner game, he's in sometimes Seahawks games, blah, blah, blah. Chris Anderson, who also is a founder, partner of a local hot sauce company, self-made man, entrepreneur, right? Gets down there in front of the ball games, entertains the crowd, makes a little money as a busker.
Sure.
His van got stolen. It was in the papers in the Times last Friday. And inside this van were his, not just the ingredients for like 6 months worth of his hot sauce company, but his drum kit, his amplifier, his generator, how he makes his livings in both arenas was gone.
That sucks.
It does. And this is a guy he's contributing to the game experience in Seattle. He's part of the fabric of the game day in Seattle. Well, the police did find his van.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Did he get his drums back?
No.
Oh.
The van was gutted.
Oh, that sucks.
The van it was, and it's, you've all seen the movie The Other Guys?
Yes.
Yeah. It was.
Where his Prius gets stolen?
Yes. It was a similar situation because the catalytic converter was gone. The radio was gone. The starter was gone. Inside was drug paraphernalia. Used condoms.
Oh, jeez.
It was a soup kitchen.
Jeez Louise.
Yes. And they had covered the interior of the van in gasoline. Like trying to burn out their, I don't know why. It wasn't
They never
burned out.
lit it?
They never lit it. Who knows? For whatever reason.
Maybe it was just stinky.
Maybe
it was just stunk. Here's a question for. So they took his drums.
Yes, they took his drums. And what I read in this was a nice piece from David Rose over at Fox 13. He got the van back. That's like $15,000 worth of loss and damage. This guy doesn't have a lot of extra cash. He's working 2 jobs full time, doing everything he can. Someone donated a kit to him, a drum kit. And I'm not sure. I reached out to Chris Anderson, the owner and the drummer, the Pike Street drummer, to see if we can have him on, see everything we can do to help try to help make him whole. If there's a GoFundMe started somewhere, because I'd like to see if we can give the guy a hand, getting back on his feet, getting back behind the drums.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I'm not going to send him to San Francisco to play outside Levi Stadium or Santa Clara. But
have you ever had a vehicle stolen?
yes.
I have too.
Yes, I have.
If you
on Lower Queen Anne.
Mine was in Green Lake.
Okay.
Right out in front of my apartment at the time. But if and the vehicle, they eventually did find it. They found the vehicle. Did they find yours as well?
Yeah, it's funny. I found it.
Oh, did you really?
I found it.
Did you have a tag in it or something?
No,
like an air tag?
I walked by it on the other side of my neighborhood.
No way.
I swear to you. We lived on the
Is it possible you just parked in the wrong spot?
No.
Okay.
No. What was possible was I kept such little gasoline in this 1966 Volkswagen Beetle that it ran out of gas about 2 blocks from my house.
Perfect.
But it had been 3 months. Filed a police report, nothing. You know, police did. This was 20 years ago.
It was in your neighborhood for 3 months,
3 months,
and you didn't know it?
And this was as I think back, this was closer to 25 years ago.
I thought this whole start of the segment was how good you and I are at solving crimes.
Well, it
was in your neighborhood
it was in
for
my
3
neighborhood,
months.
3
You
months.
didn't see it?
I finally walked past it because I was taking a bus and caught a bus on Queen Anne Avenue and was
Spike,
walking
this does
back.
not advertise for our detective agency
Well,
very
I didn't
well.
have you in my life. If I'd had you in my life, we'd have found it that afternoon.
That's
but
true.
no.
All right. Well, okay. We'll still
Anyway,
solve your crime if
we'll-
you need
we'll
help
help.
solving
We'll
it.
help, yeah.
But would you? Okay, so this guy gets his van back. It's filled with
It's filled.
used
It's
prophylactics. That's
terrible.
disgusting.
It's a toxic site.
I would rather just they take all the stuff than leave anything behind. I mean, that's insult to injury in my book.
Yeah, well,
That's
they took everything of value and left.
How do you use
left
that
their
van
mark.
again?
I don't
You're
know.
just gonna
Can
have
you?
to. You're gonna
I think you light the gasoline.
I know.
That's what
He's
think
just
you
like
do, right. Sanitize that.
Were they
thing.
trying to sanitize
I
it with
don't
the
know.
gasoline?
You know, I watch a lot of crime shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, when they jack a car or something, they burn it out.
That's true. They
Right?
will take it
torch
to a remote
They torch
location.
it.
They'll torch
Yes.
it. It's awful. People shouldn't be stealing stuff. And
No,
if you're
it's
going to steal stuff, don't leave that kind of stuff behind.
Yeah, drugs are
Drugs.
Yeah, drugs
And the
will
catalytic
end you,
converters.
son.
It's crazy how fast they can take a catalytic converter. They're like,
oh yeah,
for such a stupid crime.
You get
These
one of
guys
those-
are like
not that we're,
geniuses.
they get like a sawzall and they roll into the thing. You know, you can do in your driveway. You walk out in your driveway and then start your car in the morning, and all of a sudden sound like you're, a mutter, an off-road trucker.
Yeah.
But no, your catalytic converter's gone. And haven't they had some legislative efforts recently to start serial numbering catalytic converters?
I believe so.
Because, the aftermarket for these things, it's the metals that are inside that are valuable as scrap metal.
Yeah.
That these drug addicts, I'm trying to be nice, these thieves, that their addiction drives them to a life of crime, and they crawl into your car with a damn sawzall.
Do you remember? I'm trying to remember if it. I don't know if this is law. We should look this up. But there was a bunch of thieving, a bunch of Grand Theft Auto that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the city's response to it was, let's not crack down on the people stealing the cars.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to change the law so that it was they could fine you for warming your car up outside your house.
I remember that.
Because
for leaving it running.
For leaving it running
It was too
because
tempting.
Because they were saying that you were tempting fate.
Right.
What an
When
insult.
it got stolen if your car wasn't running.
Yeah. What an insult. Isn't that just the perfect example of how ridiculous local government is.
Yeah,
that they see that situation. They say, hey, you know what?
I know how we fix this.
I know who we take it out on. Let's take it out on the people whose cars are being stolen,
and we'll fine you.
And the people who are freezing in the morning getting into their cars. Let's fine them.
Yeah, for running their car. Wasn't there an environmental element too? Because you're just polluting while your car's warming up, right?
Jeez Louise.
What was about putting the cart before the horse?
These people. They
don't deserve a Super Bowl. Yes, they do.
We got a lot. We got a lot coming up. Stick around. Crazy crime happened in This one that had. Did you see this attack that happened in Redmond? They're still looking for this guy.
Yeah.
The stabbing. This is wild. We'll tell you about it next. What to watch out for. All right, we'll be right back.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys. Super Bowl, here we come.
Can you believe it?
We're just a really good football team that's tough and connected.
Welcome to the dark side.
Power of 12 is one is real.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
All the 12s across the country and all the 12s across the globe.
You know how we do it.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO Newsradio.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope, included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
At Skyline, senior living never sounded so good. The world feels bigger when you stay connected to ideas, to culture, to the things you love. We designed Skyline for today's older adults who celebrate life rooted in the city, not apart from it. At Seattle's only true life care community, premier music venues, museums, and culinary gems are just steps away. Urban senior living has an address. Discover it all at SkylineSeattle.org.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction. Lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of five-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA!
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper from portions of New Mexico up to Maine. People are digging out after this weekend's storm that has dumped snow and ice. Bonito Lake, New Mexico reported 31 inches of snow accumulation. Ice-coated parts of Mississippi. The University of Mississippi has had to cancel classes this week. CBS's Katie Weiss is there.
Here in Oxford is one of the hardest hit cities as a result of this ice storm that swept the south over the weekend. I'm actually now at a warming shelter at the University of Mississippi Ole Miss, their student union. You can see students are posted up here seeking shelter, trying to find warmth because right now power is out across the city. In fact, 180,000 people in the state right now without power.
In Blythewood, South Carolina, a midwife had to take the chance and get to a client who was going into labor.
Navigating these roads have been pretty crazy. My car was covered in ice, so it took me a while to even get out of the house, and just coming down the road has been pretty slick. So
many communities in the Northeast are buried under more than 20 inches of snow. After the weekend shooting death of ICU nurse Alex Preddy by Border Patrol officers in Minneapolis, both President Trump and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz have spoken by phone. They say it was a productive conversation, the president adding that they're on the same page, but Walz saying he also told the president that his staff doesn't have their facts straight. CBS's Lana Zach.
He had a conversation with President Trump in which the president said that he is going to consider reducing the number of federal agents here in the Twin Cities. In that call, we understand, according to Walz's office at least, that the president agreed that he would talk to the Department of Homeland Security about allowing the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehensions to be part of that investigation. That's what the other lawsuit and court hearing is about today.
2 court hearings are being held, one about extending an order for the government to preserve evidence, and the other challenging the legality of the Trump administration's immigration operation in Minnesota. Outside hospitals across California and Hawaii, more than 30,000 Kaiser Permanente nurses and other healthcare workers are on strike over what they say are unfair labor practices, failing to address staffing shortages and timely access to patient care.
Tired of trying to make a difference in our community. And no matter how great our department is or our local medical center, having executives at the highest level not listen to what we need to take care of our communities.
Zachary Pritchett is a registered nurse. Stocks close on Wall Street. They close up. The Dow jumping 314 points. The Nasdaq jumping 100. S&P 500 rose 35. This is CBS News.
I'm Major Garrett. Follow and listen to The Takeout on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Several airlines are adding trips for 12s to get to the Bay Area for the Super Bowl. More on that. First, a check on your KIRO News Radio traffic. And it's a good-looking drive across the region this afternoon. The only backups that are significant are right here in Seattle, and those aren't even bad. North 5 jams up approaching the Ship Canal Bridge where your 2 left lanes are closed for road work. Through June, this keeps those express lanes open northbound only 24/7 for the duration of this project. And then South 5 gets a little crowded approaching the Ship Canal Bridge, but it's nothing heavy. Linwood to Seattle, just 15 minutes. That's your KIRO News Radio traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. The 12s had Lumen Field shaken last night as the Seattle Seahawks took out the LA Rams 31-27 to earn their spot in Super Bowl 60.
To be a Seahawks fan, it means a lot. It means a lot to be a part of the 12th man community. Go Seahawks!
I love the Seahawks.
Been going to games since 1976.
What it means to be a Seahawks fan is believing in the dark side, believing that we are number one, believing that we'll take the NFC Championship over the Rams, over the 49ers. We're the best team in the league, best team in the NFC. Nobody can stop us. We're coming back for revenge on the Pats. Super Bowl, baby, let's go!
Yeah, the Hawks will try to avenge their previous loss to the Patriots in Super Bowl 49 on Sunday, February 8th at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. And fans heading to the Super Bowl to catch that game are getting some help from airlines. Several carriers are adding extra flights from Seattle to the Bay Area for the game. Seattle-based Alaska Airlines is offering 16 additional round-trip flights to San Jose and San Francisco. American Airlines and United have also added special service, including return flights after the game. The Pierce County Force Investigation Team is looking into a stabbing that led to a deputy-involved shooting that left the suspect dead. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
The victim told deputies a man approached early Sunday morning in Parkland and asked his religion. When he answered Christian, he and his dog were stabbed multiple times before the suspect fled. Deputies found him a short time later. Shots were fired, and the suspect, still armed with a knife, was killed. Sergeant Charles Porsche with the Pierce County Force Investigation Team on the independent investigation now underway.
Collecting evidence, beginning to do some of the interviews for them to put together their investigation of what happened there.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Downtown Seattle saw a big holiday boost. The Downtown Seattle Association says more than 2.8 million people visited in December. That's almost back to pre-pandemic levels. 47 holiday events and attractions helped draw the crowds. The report says locals made up 921,000 visits, more than any other month in 2025. But downtown still faces challenges like high office vacancies and lower worker foot traffic. A popular snowboarding competition is being called off at Mount Baker ski area. There's simply not enough snow for this year's legendary banked slalom. Gwen Hoat is one of the event organizers.
And because we're 100% dependent on nature, that's just the reality of what we're having to work with right now. And so we are now canceling the 2026 legendary banked slalom.
The contest has been held every year since 1985. The Seattle Times reports the event is one of the longest-running snowboarding competitions in the world. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Our dry streak is coming to an end later this week. Today turns into a partly sunny afternoon with a high around 48. Cloudy and 51 Tuesday, and then rain returns Wednesday, heavy at times. Mostly cloudy and 42 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go as we start off the week on a... We're all still flying high from that game yesterday. Fantastic. We're now 2 weeks away from... That's right? 2 weeks? February 8th?
2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday. Yeah, February 8th.
It's going to be very exciting. We're going to talk with just a little bit, this tease ahead, in just a little bit. John Curley was at the game last night. He sits right behind us out there in the desk area, and he was talking about... He said the experience was just insane at Lumen Field. It's just wild. He can barely talk. So I said, why don't you come on our show, squeeze whatever you have left out of your voice before you start your show live at 3. So he agreed to it because he's a peach. So he's going to be on with us in just about 20 minutes or so. He'll tell us about that last night. It sounds like a pretty fun environment. So I can only imagine what the Super Bowl is going to be like. And you had the opportunity, Spike, you still do, depending on the price, to buy tickets to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
It's drivable, by the way.
It is drivable. That's one expense I wouldn't have to worry about. I've got friends in the Bay Area I could stay with.
Sure.
That's how I convinced myself to go. I went to the Super Bowl in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Super Bowl in Phoenix, which is one of the reasons when I look at the prices of these particular games, this game in Santa Clara is going to be nuts.
A lot of money.
The NFC Championship was the most expensive NFC Championship game in history. Given the fact that the aftermarket and how people consume and purchase tickets, right, the consumer-driven marketplace, the bidders come from all over, and the auctions are in real time on multiple levels. It's nuts. I spent less to go to 2 Super Bowls, including travel expenses.
Than what one ticket would cost?
One ticket to Super Bowl 60 would cost me.
Yeah.
I mean, Would I love to be a part of it? Of course.
Let me ask you this question, and we'll get into. We have actually like serious stuff to talk about, which we will in just a second.
There's a lot going on in the world.
Do you think that the aftermarket, and it's unavoidable? It's part of life now. This is how tickets are sold.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good for the fans?
No. Not in any way, shape, or form.
It doesn't seem. I'm trying to make an argument for it, other than the free market, which I'm always in favor of.
Sure. That's the only argument you can make, though. Is that? But here's the thing: there's a producer of a product, there's a consumer of a product. There shouldn't be 8 people with their hand out between whether it's Sam Darnold throwing a pass or Taylor Swift singing a song or whatever.
Yeah.
You're buying tickets to see these days to be able to use algorithms and bots and buy a bunch of tickets. And then throw them into the marketplace and have people, imagine do that with bread. You can't take necessities during a national emergency. You can't price gouge the price of bottled water if a hurricane is hit. But a Super Bowl, which comes around, about as often as a hurricane.
You tell me that's not more important than a national emergency. You tell me it's not important than bread.
And I get it, man. Aftermarket is aftermarket. I know people who make their living doing nothing but brokering tickets.
I know.
Right?
I have some friends.
But is it better for the game? No. It's better for the fan? No.
Yeah.
It's better for the seller.
It's good for the seller.
Yeah, it's one more guy with his hand out between you and the ball game.
I have 2 buddies who, let's see, this would have been like 15 years ago. They got the opportunity to buy more season tickets, and they took it, and now all they have done for the last many, many seasons is they either give them away to friends, which is nice, and I appreciate it, or they don't give them to me.
They've got a commodity,
but they sell them.
Yes.
They sell them to people, and they do great. They do really great on these tickets.
I get you, but if you noticed in the stands yesterday, not a lot of Ram fans. Not, we had, because the Seahawks put out that directive that they kind of backpedal on a little bit,
which they should have.
Don't sell your tickets on the aftermarket. We may pull your right to have season tickets.
Then you know what, Seahawks, don't allow people to sell tickets on the aftermarket.
Thank you. Can't have it both ways.
Can't have it both ways.
Right. So will I spend $16,000 for 2 tickets to the Super Bowl?
Don't say no.
I'm not saying no.
Because it's a once in a lifetime. It's a once every decade opportunity.
It's a once.
If you have a good team.
It's been 12 years since we won. 12.
Oh, 12. That's
been 12 since we won. Yeah, right.
I think that means something. All right, let's get into some more serious stuff here, and then we'll talk more about Seahawks just a little bit with John Curley. Did you see this story? This is a horrible story. There was a woman who was at a hiking trail in Redmond.
Yes.
And somebody sees, this is at, what hiking trail is this at? They say it's a hiking trail, Bear Creek.
Yeah.
Near Bear Creek Trail, just off of Bear Creek Parkway. And somebody calls 911 because they think they see an attack in progress. And indeed, somebody was attacking this woman, stabbed her.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she survived it.
Right, and by the grace of God, somebody walking by at the time of the attack.
And somebody was able to call 911.
Right, quick response from 911. And then
medics arrive. Right. They find the woman. She's not in great shape, but they're able to get her the help that she needs. And then they were able to talk to this woman. She was taken to the hospital. They were able to talk to her and
got a description.
But it's still, they're looking for whoever this was. This was just a few blocks. I'm going to read a little bit about this. This was in my Northwest, but here's the description. And again, this is just a couple blocks from Redmond Town Center. And when I think about Redmond Town Center, I do not think of stabbing attacks.
No, or any urban trail in this town. We've got wonderful outdoor amenities. It's one of the beauties of the Northwest.
Yeah.
Is the regional, geographical, our outdoor world is wonderful. The hiking trails near high-density populated areas like Redmond Town Center.
Redmond's a nice place, so I don't think of it like Redmond's upper crust.
Well,
it's expensive.
It is.
It's not horribly ridden with crime. I don't think of Redmond as a high crime area.
Yeah, but I don't think about the downtown waterfront area, the trails down there between West Seattle and downtown Seattle, where we've got this homeless population that's encamped and people are attacked on a regular basis and there's drugs being used.
Well, yeah,
well, again, I don't think of that as a bad neighborhood any more than I think of Redmond as a bad neighborhood. I think we got to. What I'm saying is,
what town?
Downtown Seattle. I've used those trails.
Oh, you don't worry about the attacks.
I worry about them, but I don't. How do I frame this the right way?
I'm not meaning to put you on the spot.
No, not at all.
When I think of Redmond, it's
a nice neighborhood.
I don't think of Redmond as having these problems.
Right.
But
my wife walks the trails in our neighborhood on a daily basis with our pup.
Sure.
We're in North Seattle.
Yeah.
We're south of Edmonds. I don't worry about her there.
Sure.
We shouldn't have to worry about these people anywhere.
Yeah, not certain. Yeah. I just don't associate. That's what's caught my eye about this. It's a horrible attack. It's the person, the attacker is still at large.
It wasn't the area. It was the mentally ill, maybe drug addict that she came across on this trail.
Of course, yeah.
But I feel the same way about downtown. That's what I was trying to say.
You think downtown's as safe as Redmond Town Center?
I don't know, no, I don't. But maybe again, I'm looking back, living in my past. I just don't think of the downtown area as an unsafe place to be.
Oh,
I know we shouldn't have.
I absolutely.
Maybe I need the mayor to step up and do her job and make it a safe place again. That's why I voted for the last guy, because he was doing what I thought was making progress and making it safe again.
I would say that
I'm not meaning to be laying this at Katie Wilson's feet.
If I had to choose, since you brought it up, if I had to choose two places where I would recommend my wife go hiking.
Where do you drop her off?
I would not recommend her going hiking in downtown Seattle.
Under the West Seattle Bridge or Redmond Town Center.
Redmond Town Center, where she might go catch some shopping, get a matcha, and then hit a trail.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
That's fair. I guess I'm just heartbroken that these things happen in our community anywhere.
It's horrible. It's horrible that it happen anywhere. So they talked to witnesses. They talked to the woman who was attacked, and they described the suspect. They say the suspect they spotted leaving the area was possibly white or Asian, about 5'9", with a slim build. This is all on mynorthwest.com. You can read about it there. Wearing a green hoodie or jacket, blue jeans, and a black beanie or a hat. I mean, that's not a super helpful description.
It's not, but I guess the only thing we can do is to help people is to be smart when you hike.
Yeah.
And you hate to even have to even say that, but if you can not hike alone, don't hike alone. If you can make sure that you bring with you precautionary self-defense equipment, do that.
I'm on high alert at all times. We still live in a really nice area in Issaquah.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, when I would get back from work, she would want to get out and go do her stuff. And so I would have the kids, and then she would go off and hit the hiking trails. And I used to get a real creepy feeling, because that area, when somebody's out by themselves running in the woods, it can be a creepy thing, because you never know who you're going to run into out there.
Right.
And then we found out, this was kind of weird. We maybe have talked about this before, but my wife comes back one day and she's like, I got this really creepy feeling. She was on this trail. It was Tiger Mountain area. She goes, I got this really creepy feeling. And so we looked up the trail that she had been running for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the same trails that who's the guy that abducted all the women?
Ridgeway?
No, the other guy. Bundy. It was one of the Ted Bundy trails where he used to bring his victims. And and this is decades later.
Yeah.
And it was just, we were reading about it, and I was like, is it possible that you just got a sense of the darkness still associated with that? Or was it just because you're out in the middle of the woods and
it was and the same thing that drove him to use that place is what gave you the willies.
Because it was secluded. And
we talk about our feelings inside. We got Laura, and I don't mean to. If you don't want to, do you feel safe in this city? You walk. You're out and about living your life as a young woman in a major city with major issues.
I would say I don't want to put Laura on the spot. Anybody should be careful if you're out and about.
But
just be aware.
Well, it's just about keeping I don't want to say keeping your head on a swivel or being too paranoid, but I don't wear headphones or AirPods when I'm walking around.
Try not to look at your phone.
Yeah. Just keep your head up. Just check in on your environment. If I ever feel unsafe, my go-to is to just hop on a Lime bike or a Lime scooter. Can't catch me now.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not really an option on more wooded or suburban hiking trails, but that works for me in the city.
And buddy system. You want to go with people if you can.
Oh yeah. Always just let someone know where you're going and when you expect to get there. And especially living alone, I think about that a lot.
It's just a sad reality that we're in these days, but it's not a new reality. It's something that people have had to do for years and years. And, obviously, I'm not saying that Redmond is lost. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that,
and I'm hoping Seattle isn't lost. I really am.
I know
you're right.
Seattle's been that way for so long now, though, that there are places, and not all of Seattle. There's obviously super nice parts of Seattle where I don't even walk around because it's too rich for me to walk around. And, there's just parts of Seattle that anybody going into would go, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a little careful here.
Sure.
I'm just going to watch my back. I'm going to make sure I'm not staring at my phone.
Yep.
And where I wouldn't leave my car,
Yes.
Like where I wouldn't leave my car overnight so you don't turn into that drummer who's getting his car stolen. And
Well, I will say after my car was stolen, what was that, 2 years ago now? I always put the steering wheel lock on, which is bright yellow, and I think it's a good deterrent.
Yeah.
But when I get in the car, I just lock the doors immediately.
Sure.
It's just instinctual now. That's just a habit. You know, you get in, I lock the doors,
Same.
and then I undo the steering wheel.
Just in case somebody's
You just never
nearby.
know. Yeah.
Some weirdo.
Just be smart.
This is the world now, Spike. This is the world now. You don't
know.
even feel bad about it. It's just the world we live in. This is Redmond Police Chief Darrell Lowe. We've had him on the show. It's a good dude. Talking to Como News about this.
Another passerby saw an individual running prior to coming upon the victim down on the trail. This is very abnormal for Redmond and for the East Side. At this point in the investigation, it appears that this was a random attack. The individual who made the initial 911 call did remain on scene and provided a statement and the suspect description to officers.
So they're still looking for this guy, and they say if you have any information or if you see somebody that fits this description, you can call 911 and do not approach this person. Okay, can we move over to Minneapolis for just a second? Over the weekend,
Yeah.
there was another ICE incident. Another person was killed during an incident with ICE, and this is another one of those situations where you have the entire country looking at it and not being able to come to a unified conclusion on what happened. There's all of the video footage available out there for people who want to see it. There's different stories about what the person was doing there. Why were they intervening in the middle of an ICE incident? Did they step over a line they shouldn't have stepped over? And you and I are not going to be able to solve that on this show.
Of course not.
Obviously.
No. Hopefully what we won't do is make the errant rush to judgment or pick a side, put a flag in the ground, which happened in this case. I mean, right out of the gate. Wait for the investigation to happen.
Yeah,
don't
investigation should happen.
Don't label the victim. Don't make proclamations about cause of this tragic event. The guy lost a life. And to make proclamations about what the intent was of this person, he went there with the pure intent to assassinate. I'm paraphrasing quotes from elected and appointed officials in our federal government. Went there to assassinate multiple ICE agents. Maybe he did. I doubt that he did. No one could know. So to make those proclamations moments, if not hours after this horrific tragedy, that's just, we're better than that, man. We're better people than that. Mm-hmm. We need to be better people than that.
Sure.
You and we have been really careful, I think, about, finding out the information, keeping your mind and your ears open and keeping an open mind about these things. Like you said, Black people, we will hopefully find out what happened in this registration. I mean, it seems to me when you got 20 different video angles to play of this incident, this horrific loss of life in Minneapolis, about this, this VA nurse who was on the scene as a citizen activist, recording the ICE activities in the community of Minneapolis, which has been just, the focus of federal attention, to put it as generously as I can. Here's a guy who, by all accounts, was there to look out for his fellow citizens, to record the incidents he felt were out of bounds by federal government agents, and we have a tragic loss of life. The guy is a Second Amendment honoring, gun-carrying American.
Sure.
And coming out of the gate, there's just, I don't even know how to even get into the details. We all seen the details of it. It was a tough weekend to watch the news.
So he got, as I understand it, there was a incident with a person that he was there with. Is that right? Looks like.
And I've seen multiple. Again, I watched way too much of this. Thank goodness for sports on Sunday, because I watched way too much of this coverage on Saturday and Sunday morning. He was filming an incident. ICE was going after a particular targeted person of interest with a criminal record. That's what ICE is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And this gentleman was
intervening in some way.
Well, recording, and that's where the rub lies. That's where the perspective differences lie. Is recording someone from a distance, which is, constitutionally allowed, is that intervening? Is it enough for to say that he's interrupting the?
What was the incident? Because he wasn't. The person they were there for was a guy who had a criminal rap sheet, right? He had a domestic assault involving intentionally bodily harm.
And that's what we want our enforcement officers to go after and do, and keep these criminals, these worst of the worst, off our streets.
But the people who were protesting probably were unaware of the target in this investigation's criminal record, or didn't care.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair.
And the woman that this guy was with got into it with ICE. Is that right?
From what I've seen, and I can only give you my perspective from the videos I've watched. I'm not an expert. I don't have all the information.
Yeah.
It seemed that ICE officials, ICE agents were objecting to being recorded, and were engaging those people recording, and with phones, with cameras.
What was the incident with the woman, though, that this guy was with? Did you see that?
The woman got shoved by an ICE agent to the point where she fell.
Yes.
And it's icy, it's wintry, it's Minneapolis. I get it. Woman was pushed for a recording, didn't approach officers. Officers approached her. Just, again, my perspective on things.
Yeah, the Spike's perspective.
And when the victim, Mr. Preddy, was also recording, had been pushed by ICE officers.
But he got in between her and them. They were making an arrest of her. Is that what was happening?
They shoved her to the ground. He went to help her off the ground. When he went to help her off the ground, wasn't approaching agents. There were no agents with her. He went to help her off the ground, and agents came to the two of them.
Have you seen the video?
I've seen, yes. I have seen the videos. He's helping this woman off the ground with his phone in one hand, and the two of them were both pepper sprayed, both the woman and the shooting victim.
And then at some point in the scrum, you have one of the agents recognizing his back. He's got, he's a Second Amendment carrier.
He's got a holstered gun.
He's got 9mm back pants.
His belt holster. Yeah,
belt thing.
Right.
Somebody else gun, and then there's shots, and then he ends up losing his life, which is very sad.
Yeah.
But they're still doing an investigation of everything that happened.
As they should. And initially, I was seeing reports, and I'm not sure of the validity of them these days. You have to trust but verify, I guess, that DHS has taken control of the investigation, Department of Homeland Security, instead of the FBI. They had been prohibiting Minnesota law enforcement from collecting evidence or being involved in the investigation into it. In fact, Minnesota officials had to petition a judge to ask and require that federal authorities cooperate, protect, and not destroy or alter evidence.
But they're still investigating.
There's an ongoing investigation into this. Yeah, I guess it's a de-escalation seems to be the word of the day. That's what this country needs right now. A little de-escalation on all fronts.
Well, it looks like we don't have time to get to this, but it looks like Waltz and Trump had a very productive call. They both said it was a good thing, and they're both going to work together and
finally,
hopefully put this to bed. All right, we got a lot more coming up. John Curley next. Stick around. Be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys.
Super Bowl, here we come.
Can you believe it?
We're just a really good football team that's tough and connected.
Welcome to the dark side.
Power of 12 is 1 is real.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
All the 12s across the country and all the 12s across the globe.
You know how we do it.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO Newsradio.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Sometimes we hang on to our old attorneys and coaches too long. They've been around, they've done good work. But when the legal game changes, you need a team that is hungry to win now. At Bible Law Group, we're that faster, hard-hitting legal team, ready to fight for every inch in the courtroom. With over 40 million closed for our clients, we know how to win, and we're ready to take on the biggest legal case of your career with you. Don't stick with a playbook that's gone stale. Switch to the legal team that's ready to win now. Let Bible Law Group be your linebacker in the courtroom. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Washington's governor says immigration and customs enforcement is, in his words, totally out of control. Those were Bob Ferguson's words after federal agents killed an ICU nurse during a struggle in Minneapolis over the weekend.
We are focused on preparing to the fullest extent possible for a similar escalation by ICE against our will here in Washington state.
Governor says he is now not ruling out deploying the National Guard in response to federal immigration enforcement. In Minnesota, meanwhile, Governor Tim Walz says he had a productive phone call with President Trump today. CBS's Natalie Brand reports.
Governor Walz said the president agreed to look into reducing the number of federal agents in the state and work in a more coordinated way on immigration enforcement regarding violent criminals. Earlier this morning, the president announced he's sending border czar Tom Homan to Minnesota, saying Homan will report directly to him.
Now to the closing bell report. As the Seahawks were being crowned NFC champions last night, a local retailer was hard at work, pumping out fresh merchandise to celebrate that win. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley speaks with the design team at Simply Seattle.
It's a great time to be a sports fan in Seattle, so football's having a moment.
Your Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl!
Just hours after the Seahawks clinched that title, these presses already fired up.
Today we're printing T-shirts for the Seahawks winning the NFC Championship game.
And he says this is just the beginning. In 2 weeks, they'll be right back here printing for the big win.
It is the cheapest meal you'll find this week. Dick's Drive-In celebrating its 72nd birthday with 19-cent burgers. That's the original cost for a burger back in 1954. Companies offering the throwback price at multiple locations this week. On Wall Street today, the Dow gained 313, NASDAQ ahead 100, S&P up 35 points. Let's go down to the real-time traffic desk and check in with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. Our final Monday afternoon commute for January is Monday light. Next to nothing in your way across the map. Of course, our midday afternoon backup typically starts next hour. Right now, North 5 in Seattle, you've got that short backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge, where 2 left lanes are closed. Plan on about 8 minutes to make your way through this. And then once you get through it, it's wide open. South 5's got a little crowding through the U District. Still an easy 15-minute commute between Linwood and Seattle. Federal Way to Seattle, 20 minutes. Bellevue to Federal Way, 25 minutes. Issaquah to Seattle, 15 minutes. Save $600 off windows and $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months, same as cash financing. Don't wait. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast calls for mostly cloudy skies today. Highs in the mid-40s. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. I'm very excited about this. We get to talk a little bit more about the Seahawks. Everybody's thrilled. They get to go to the Super Bowl again. Rematch against the Patriots. It's as it should be. It's great. Laura, can you please get our guest in? I see that there's a young man in here, but I was looking for John Curley.
This is a very sorry. Perhaps you're recognizing me. Where's the camera?
Oh no!
Where's
is that
the camera?
John Curley?
Look at this guy.
Look at this young face.
Yeah,
smooth skin, like a baby.
That's what a whole bunch of money will get you.
That's pretty good. Something to shoot for.
It'd be cheaper just to make a mask of $100 bills and wear that around town.
I could have bought.
Could have bought Super Bowl tickets. You could have bought Super Bowl tickets. That's the line we're looking for right there. Jake, my friend, set up. Boom.
Where's your love?
All right,
vanity. High praise for vanity.
John Curley joins us now because you were at the NFC Championship game last night.
I believe that was last night.
And tell us about it. What did it feel like? What was the atmosphere in there? Give us it all.
Well, first of all, let me thank Doug Brown, who listens to the show. He might be listening as well. He happened to hear me talk about buying tickets to the 2013 game I took Rye to.
I've seen video of that.
I surprised him with the tickets.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I have no voice today. So he said, hey, I'll sell you mine. And his tickets, 50-yard line, about, I'm going to go 18 rows back.
Whoa.
20 rows back.
I call that the catbirds.
And he's had these tickets in his family for 50 years.
Yeah.
I wrote him today, not that I'm not appreciative of this, but why did you sell the tickets? He says it's a long story, but I wanted to take the money.
He's got to get a facelift.
I want to take the money.
Sorry.
I take the money and go to the Super Bowl. If I got tickets in the lottery, now, of course, I didn't get the tickets, so I can use the money and I can go to the games next year. So that's why. He says, I hope you enjoyed them. They've been in the family for 50 years.
What was it like?
I think the best part of it was when we were walking in, we're waiting to go through the line. They're checking for guns and knives and stuff like that.
Outside food.
They're
really concerned about because they get that concession dollar out of you.
Yeah. Hey, why should you buy a hot dog for $3 on the street when we can get one in there for $30?
$35.
Let's wait. Let's get the $30 dog.
It's a playoff dog.
So Rye turned to me and goes, Dad, any time in your life, anywhere you are, at any time, you're always thinking, well, there's always some place I'd rather be, need to be, have to be, right? I'm here, but I'd rather be at the beach, or I'd rather be, at home. He goes, I could tell you definitively, there is no other place in the world right now, at any time, that I could possibly think of. I want to be right here at this very moment.
Good.
It was real, and I go, wow, that
Did you
is
start crying?
deep. Oh, I was crying the whole game. One guy turned to me at one point. It was like in the second half. He goes, "Hey, save the tears for the end of the game, baby." He didn't call me baby. He called me a
baby face. He said, "Save the tears, baby face."
A small cat.
Actually, his face won't cry anymore after the surgery.
Oh no!
Just joking.
That's a cheap way out when
if my son said something like that to me, I would hold on to that for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah.
There's no place I'd rather be than right here with you, Dad, watching this game.
No, he didn't mention me. I didn't.
And he actually said it to the person sitting next to you, not to you.
To everybody. No, he didn't look at me and say with you. If he had said with you,
my girlfriend, Dad.
Believe me, I would have been a puddle. With you would have been great, but no. Period. New paragraph. Hey, do we have to give the guy our phones when we go through security? But the great thing was, we had been to a couple of games before, and Rye was really disappointed because people were not standing and screaming. You should scream. No matter what, you should be yelling the entire time, no matter what the game is. But in this particular, everybody stood. It was like church. We would sit during the TV timeouts. Mm-hmm. Whenever the guy goes out on the field that has the giant
red hat,
orange mittens,
yep.
That's the TV timeout guy.
Yes. Yep.
So when he'd step on the field, we'd sit and wait. I'd sit next to these older guys next to me, and I go, we need to take a break. Yeah, we're sitting down. So we're sitting. And then all of a sudden just starts back up again. stand back and scream the entire time. You scream silent. You hear a pin drop. Right? It was like church when we're on offense, and then they get into the huddle, and they had practice. It was all, silent counts and silent snaps and stuff. So they had it worked out.
Yeah.
And I think only once we might have had either some delay or maybe offsides, but it didn't affect them. They had obviously practiced for this.
Oh, yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
What was the fan reaction when Woolen got his taunting penalty? Did you? I mean, because it seemed to us watching that the entire place just got really quiet really fast.
Yes, at first there were the normal, "Oh, that's bull," but we couldn't tell what happened. You see, we didn't see it. They didn't show what you guys saw on television.
Home, we got many
We didn't see any of
like
that. We didn't see any of him moving along the sidelines, 5 yards, taunting, and then run past the ref and keep taunting. But what we did see, because we're on the Seahawks side, who's number 3? What's his name?
Imanwari?
Yeah, he came over and was screaming at him. So he's sitting
on the bench right there.
They showed some of that on TV.
Yeah. And then I forget who it was that took him and pushed him away. And then other players were coming up and saying, "Hey, man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." But Rye said to me, who's a real scholar of the game, as soon as the penalty was called, at that point, Rye said, they're going to run against him. They're going to run probably a pick or some type of slant route, whatever, blah, 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 to him, which is exactly what they did.
Yeah.
His head was somewhere else, and he even pointed to his watchman. It's my time, my time. So McVay knew that guy's rattled. That guy's going to overreact. That guy's going to he's probably going to bite on under another receiver or something.
Over-aggressive jumper route.
And boom, him off it and right into the corner. And Rye goes, I told you, that's why great coaches know, well, there's an opportunity for us to succeed in this case. But the fans, you think about it when you're sitting there and after it happened and then the touchdown, you're like, oh, my God, now you're going to be able to point to that was the moment in the game that turned the thing around. Right? Because everybody would, because of that, we're not going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Right?
That would have been
on
the table.
And that's what it felt like, too.
In
you
the
were like,
stands,
he's going to have to go on the witness protection.
God, this is it.
If they lose this game, he has to leave immediately tonight. And he can no longer be in Seattle.
So good. We're 1 minute, 56 seconds left on the clock. And this one guy next to me goes, well, that's it. Game's over. And Rye said, no. No, you don't understand. That guy. That Stanford could score at any time. There's 25 seconds left. That could have been it.
Yeah.
How pivotal was it that they went for it on 4th down and they didn't get it? Because if they were within kicking range, that's a whole different thing. They had 20 seconds left, 24 seconds left when they got the ball.
Yeah.
That was wild. I mean, and you were on the edge of your seat the entire game. Because you go in there's 3 choices. It's going to be a blowout. We get blown out. We blow them out. Both of those, horrible that we get blown out. Oh, depression. But if we blow them out, it's a boring game. But you basically are paying. You're paying for the stress, the strain, the anxiety, the joy, pressure. The sadness. We get out of the car. Ryan and I drove all the way from Seattle all the way back to Cleveland last night. We get out of the car and Ryan goes, I feel like I played in that game. That's what you feel like.
Was it silence? Was it right home silence? Were you guys just exhausted?
Yeah, we were. I was waiting for him to turn to me and go, Dad, I love you. I guess we were too tired for that too. But
it wasn't a cheap ticket, even though you had
$4,000.
You had someone. I wasn't asking.
$2,000 a ticket.
Jeez Louise.
No, that's actually
a great deal actually for a lifetime memory.
That's what I said.
Look at that for life.
Yes,
that's what I said. Yeah, the way I looked at it, this is my dad's philosophy. My dad says, you ever get gas, you buy the tank of gas at the rental car agency. He said that's the same thing in life. You want to come in to the Hertz return area with nothing left in the tank. You want to push it in, get all your money's worth when you prepay on gas.
Yeah.
He said the same thing in life. You prepay. So I was thinking, before I got offered the tickets, I thought, well, I'm going to save money. And I thought, I spend it now. It's maybe they get less than they will, but that's the experience, right? Rather than him dragging my decomposing corpse to a game.
Wouldn't he rather have the memory than the money years later?
Absolutely.
Money comes and money goes, but memories with Dad.
Oh my God, it's
a lifetime.
So fun.
You convinced me.
What a great experience.
Thank you.
Go Seahawks. Thanks for coming in, John. Appreciate it.
By the way, it's 4:00. We're having the super Pats fan on. There's no other Pats fan. This guy, when the Pats lost a game, he ran away from home and buried himself in the snow, hoping to die. He'll be on at 4:00. And he's also my nephew.
There you go. All right, 4 o'clock. Tune in for that. That's John Curley, live every day from 3 to 7. We got a lot more. Stick around. Be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan. Presented by Carter Subaru.
I know your child really wants a super cool e-bike. All the other kids in the neighborhood have one. But you might not realize that the e-bike you're buying your kid is really more like a motorcycle. The Washington legislature is now considering reining in some of these e-bikes/motorcycles. The changes could really impact what's available and what your kid might be able to ride. That's tomorrow's Choke Point on Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
All right, welcome back to the show. I saw this story. You can read about this over on SeattleRed.com. I was surprised. Quite frankly, I was surprised by this, Spike. There's a new ranking out for Washington State. We got Valentine's Day coming up, so they look into how people are spending Valentine's Day, how they're looking forward to Valentine's Day.
Okay.
What is Valentine's Day? Like 2.5 weeks away? 3 weeks away? Right?
3
weeks?
and a half.
3.5. Is it a big holiday in the O'Neill household?
Thanks. Used to be.
Used to be?
I mean, yeah. Well, sure. Any love.
What happened?
Nothing.
Time.
Time. Comfort happened, Familiarity happened.
Sure.
Maybe me saying that right there is my sign, as the redneck Tory used to say.
Spice things up a little bit.
Well, at least time for acknowledgement and appreciation in a relationship. Spice is spice. When am I going to show up as a cop with handcuffs or something? I don't need a French maid.
Please don't.
I don't. No, we don't need that. That's the thing about being married. We're 34 years now.
Sure.
Listen,
you've been the cop.
You've been there. I've been the cop. I've been the fireman. I brought pizza.
You've been the French maid.
You name it. I have. Whatever it takes. I think it was year 19.
Such a horrible visual
That's what she
image.
said. And I had the best of intentions.
And that's when I knew that wasn't the guy. I made a mistake. But that's what the marriage is about. You make a mistake, you move on.
Well, yes. Just don't make the big mistake. Just don't do it. This story broke my heart.
This story.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, this story broke my heart.
All right, listen to this. In Washington State, apparently Washington State's ranked 7th in the nation.
Yes.
For people searching for extramarital relationships.
7th?
Through Ashley
Come on,
Madison.
Seattle. Try harder. We couldn't even crack the
you
top
think they
5?
could do better?
I'm teasing.
Seattle Red had this. They said Washington has secured a spot in the top 10 states searching for Ashley Madison. Ashley Madison is a website where people can search for affairs.
Extramarital affairs, yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. I'm sure you don't know this. I certainly don't know this, but do they verify on the site that you are a married person? Is it possible that you could just be a creepy weirdo singleton?
That's interesting.
Who feels like you have a better shot if somebody thinks that somebody else has already decided to marry you, and so maybe you have a better chance with somebody on Ashley Madison?
I can honestly tell you with 1,000% authenticity that I have no idea how Ashley Madison works.
Samesies.
Nor have I ever felt the need to go looking for losers.
Of course.
Soulless, immoral dirtbags.
Yeah.
Of either gender. Sinners. Thank you. So as I read this story this morning, and the numbers are heartbreaking, what is it about the people who use this site? What are they looking for? Say you're I guess it goes both ways. You can be a married guy looking for somebody to cheat with, or a married woman looking for somebody to cheat with, right? What is it about the person you're looking for? Is it a lack of strings attached? Is it the temporary aspect of the entire relationship? Is it the danger factor? What makes people want to get on this site?
I do honestly wonder. So here's the data. They say residents have 26,633 searches per month in our state. And when you break that down by population, that's 341 searches for every 100,000 citizens, which means Washington is 21% higher. Somebody in Washington is 21% more likely than the average American to be searching for something like this.
Typical American.
Yeah. And I think to myself, when I see these numbers, I would imagine it's not nearly as bad as it sounds, because I think a lot of people are trying to use this who don't have an actual partner in life. I think
they're false.
I think these are sad, lonely hearts who have nobody and think to themselves, it's probably easier to make a connection on a website where
there's no long-term chance of getting...
No, not just... Maybe some of that, but also like the implication is that you are already... Somebody has already said you are at least a person that's worthy of dating. Or worthy of marrying.
It's like puffing up your resume.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
It makes you look more desirable because somebody else already has said, hey, I desired this person at least at one point in life.
Yeah, I get
And so
it.
you're going on this website now and you're saying like, oh, hey, I'm going to be sneaky. But in reality, like, how are they even checking for that?
I don't know.
It could just be real creeps who have no chance with
you
anyone.
Check a box that says you're married.
I would assume.
You have to upload a copy of your marriage certificate.
They probably don't call your wife to verify. That would defeat the purpose of the website. So I imagine you're just signing up.
Sure, and on ironic enough, on faith.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I bet you 90.
I hadn't thought about that.
I don't know this for certain. This is just speculation, but I would imagine a massive amounts of people who use websites like this.
Yeah, and we're not saying you can't trust the people. Actually,
what are the odds that somebody online might be saying something that's not 100% true? Is it possible?
Or the people who are interested in cheating and cheaters, maybe lying in the first place.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
That's what I think's happening. I don't think people in Washington are
that's good. That
more stepping outside of their relationships.
That gives me faith.
I think here's what I do think is happening. I think probably there's more people in Washington who don't have relationships because they're just weirdos in Washington. There's a lot of weird people in Washington.
Dedicated to their job.
Yeah, maybe they're working too much.
Yeah,
They've realized that they're, married to their job, and so they're stepping outside their marriage.
Maybe that's
just to work, trying to find somebody to hook up with.
May very well be the case.
I don't know if that's the case, but I hope that's the case.
I've never understood the attraction of that particular website. I mean, there's 1,001 places to meet somebody online or in real life.
It feels like a butterfly net for morons or something. I don't know who would go on something like that. It doesn't make sense.
Good. I love that about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to people in the southern part of the country either. Mississippi has the lowest levels of interest in the country in this type of a service. Washington, Colorado, and North Dakota all rank high. North Dakota doesn't make sense to me.
I've heard there's a lot of oil money in North Dakota. And I'm speaking in analogies or whatever. It's what's the word? Anyway.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of single guys up there or married couples up there, and they make a ton of money in the oil industry up there. A lot of natural gas, whatever they're blowing in the ground up there, getting blown out of the ground. Maybe that's why North Dakota rates so high. The cold winters might be a factor.
Cold winters, cold weather.
Yeah, maybe that's
dark
one
weather
reason.
too.
Yeah.
People are, people get the sads, and they decide to do something stupid.
Or your husband is committed to the oil rig.
Yeah,
has no time for you. Comes home tired.
It's also
can't take care of mama.
I would question. I don't know this to be the case, but I would question how many women are on this site. I bet you it's predominantly men. This seems like a man thing. But I don't know that the case. That's just
is that Ashton Madison? Is that a different site, or is it? Does the site swing both ways? I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
Me good. I mean either.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys. Super Bowl. Here we come.
Can you believe it?
We're just a really good football team that's tough and connected.
Welcome to the dark side.
Power of 12 is 1 is real.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
All the 12s across the country and all the 12s across the globe.
You know how we do it. The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO Newsradio.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
At Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
The John Curley Show.
If you do get tickets and you are lucky to be able to go,
Weekdays 3 to 7.
you have to stand the whole time. We are actually affecting the game. I took Rye to a game last year, and we were really disappointed. The people are sitting the whole time. Rye goes, I'm standing the whole game. I don't get people behind me. Too bad. Too bad. I'm here for the game. You know, what are you out there dating your sister?
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. CBS News has learned from two sources familiar with the move that Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino and some of his agents are expected to soon leave the Minneapolis area. Bovino, citing no evidence, suggested over the weekend that Alex Preddy intended to massacre federal agents. CBS's Stacey Lynn also reports.
On his podcast, Senator Ted Cruz criticized local leaders, but he also warned the administration.
Escalating the rhetoric doesn't help.
He said they should take a more measured tone.
The politicians who are pouring gasoline onto this fire, they need to stop.
Meanwhile, Senator Rand Paul is urging ICE and other Homeland Security officials to testify before Congress, pressing for transparency on the aggressive tactics and use of force in the state. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Usually warm Mississippi was covered in ice as the weekend storm blew through. Kelly Robinson is a sophomore at Ole Miss, where this week's classes have been canceled.
It's been really interesting not having any internet, power, technology.
KRLD's Russell Scott is in Dallas, Texas.
The ice and snow has schools and many businesses closed. Still, many are out braving the brutal cold weather.
It's cold. It's freezing. I grew up in Chicago, so it's not terrible.
While it's been fun for many, a 16-year-old died Sunday after the sled she was on that was being pulled by a Jeep slammed into a tree. Russell Scott for CBS News, Dallas.
At the airports, there are over 11,000 combined delays and cancellations in the U.S., according to FlightAware. Ryan Wedding, during his first court appearance in California, is ordered to remain in U.S. custody without bond. The former Canadian Olympic snowboarder, who was arrested by the FBI last week, has pleaded not guilty to all 17 charges against him. Feds are accusing Wedding of running a billion-dollar multinational drug trafficking ring and orchestrating multiple killings. His jury trial scheduled for March 24th. The remains of the last Israeli hostage taken by Hamas militants in the attack from Gaza into Israel in October 2023 were returned Monday. Police officer Ron Gavili was taken hostage and died in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying today,
with President Trump's help, we got them out. With our brave soldiers who went into Gaza, stuck a knife to Hamas.
Health officials say major data gaps in CDC measles surveillance are hampering the response to the largest U.S. outbreak in more than 30 years. Researchers warn many cases may be going uncounted, with blind spots in tracking vulnerable populations. Dr. Celine Gounder explains why it matters.
The researchers call for something simple: transparency. If data collection pauses, say so, explain why, and say when it will resume.
This is CB.
I'm Major Garrett. Follow and listen to The Takeout on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
celebrating a Seahawks trip to the Super Bowl after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Hey, we continue to look good out there. We do have a collision. It's the first collision of the afternoon, and it pops up in Bellevue. Westbound 90, right there at the 405 exit ramps. Your 2 right lanes are blocked. Coming through Seattle, we've got our Revive I-5 back up on northbound I-5, approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. 2 left lanes are blocked, of course, and then it's going to take you about 8 minutes right now to make your way through this. But once you get across the Ship Canal, it's wide open. South 5, we're seeing building volumes coming out of Northgate in the downtown. Still about a 15-minute commute between Linwood and Seattle. And if you're heading over the passes this afternoon, all of them reporting dry conditions with no restrictions. Everywhere else, we're looking really good. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. It never gets old, does it?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
Back to the Super Bowl for the 4th time in Seahawks franchise history. The 12s are ready.
And what it means to be a Seahawk fan is to believe that you are a number 1, not a number 2, because number 2 is a first loser, and we are not losers.
No, we are not. Next stop for the Hawks, Santa Clara, California, to take on the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. A former Starbucks executive is suing the coffee giant, claiming she was fired for blowing the whistle on safety problems. Janice Wazak filed that suit today in King County Superior Court. She says Starbucks pushed ahead with the new equipment system called Siren, even after maggots were found in a milk dispenser and one unit caught fire. Wazak claims she was fired days after filing an internal ethics complaint. She's seeking back pay and damages for wrongful termination and sex discrimination. Starbucks has not yet commented. Redmond police are now searching for a suspect after a woman was stabbed multiple times Saturday morning. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
The 50-year-old woman told police she was walking on the Bear Creek Trail near Redmond Town Center when she was attacked. The woman says she didn't know the man, and police are still trying to figure out why. Here's Redmond Police Chief Darrell Lowe.
Investigators continue to canvass the area for video or any potential witnesses that may have seen or heard anything.
The suspect, described as a white or Asian man about 5'9" with a slim build, he was last seen wearing a green hoodie or jacket, blue jeans, and a black cap. If you see him, call 911. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Longtime snowboarding tradition is on hold at Mount Baker ski area. The legendary banked slalom is canceled this year because there's not enough snow. Event organizer Gwen Howitt says recent weather erased parts of the course.
We just really feel strongly that at this point, it's just an unworkable situation with the snowfall.
Competition has been held annually since 1985. It is one of the longest running snowboarding events in the world. Now your weather update. We are looking at cloudy skies for now and dry conditions into tomorrow. Rain returns on Wednesday. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. A lot of stuff to get to, which we will in just a second. I am seeing all over the different news sites, though, Spike, and the TVs and everything. I'm wondering if what happened over the weekend in Minnesota isn't going to meaningfully move things forward a little bit. It was a horrible situation that happened with that guy who was, they'll do an investigation. They'll figure out what happened.
Yeah, agreed.
He lost his life, which is horrible. And now, but in the wake of that, Trump got on the phone with Waltz. The two of them, it looks like, they both released statements saying they had a very productive phone call, and hopefully they can move things forward in Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota opens it up to,
be more cooperative with federal investigation authorities. Yeah.
If there are federal investigations happening, like the one in which this guy was involved in this incident, they were there lawfully trying to arrest somebody. There's all different sides on what he was doing there, which we don't have to debate right now, but somebody lost their life. And you obviously can't, that cannot continue. That should not continue. That cannot continue.
Agreed.
And so now it looks like Waltz and Trump are saying, hey, you know what? Let's get Tom Homan in there, who, he's an Obama appointee. He was awarded by Obama in 2015 for distinguished service for his work as ICE director. Let's get him in there and get the situation taken care of. Hand over the bad actors. Hand over the people who they were going after this guy who has a record and, domestic violence or whether they're rapists or whatever the thing is. Mm-hmm. And then let's meaningfully de-escalate things instead of just letting it ratchet up.
Does it speak to whether it's justified or not, the loss of faith and credibility of those currently leading this effort in Minneapolis or Minnesota? Whether it's Bovino that says on the news today that they're going to leave and extract themselves from that particular
Border Patrol chief.
Yeah. I mean, when
do I think it speaks to lack of?
Well, the public has lost faith in them, whether it's justified or not. I think it's safe to say that the reason people feel like they should be 10 feet away by phone, but recording people is because they don't have any faith in how this is being conducted.
I can't say what the public's thinking.
Just,
I can't say what the public's thinking.
But the fact that
they could also be saying, hey, you know what? All the elected officials in Minnesota, like Waltz and Frey,
the mayor of Minneapolis.
They have done a huge disservice in ratcheting things up in times too where they did not need to. You could say that, the whole
valid.
F out ICE things that Frey was saying, Waltz's comments. Everybody has probably done things that they shouldn't have done. It did not help the situation.
Well, to your first question, are we moving forward? Has this horrific tragedy at least maybe helped us find a pathway forward to making the city, the state safer, the country safer?
Yeah.
The objective of this administration focused on what they campaigned on, getting the worst of the worst off our streets, out of our country. Yes.
Which in the case on Saturday they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this, so hopefully this moves things forward. That would be great.
Here, buddy.
All right. Let's move on to something that's not moving forward, which is.
Are we talking transit today? What are we doing?
Well, we're talking the Washington State Ferry System.
Oh, yeah, we
let's
are.
talk about the
You're
ferry
right.
system that's not
just
moving
sitting
forward.
there. Yeah.
This is a weird thing, and I have a sneaky thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what's happening right now with a couple of the boats, and this was over the weekend. 2 boats were down because they claim propeller damage. One of them, the Wenatchee. Now, the Wenatchee is the first boat in the fleet to be made a hybrid.
Right, the diesel-electric hybrid.
They did that whole thing where they converted the boat at great cost, at 3 times the original projected cost.
Sure.
They convert the boat to hybrid electric. It's got all these problems, yada, yada, yada. So I see when I click on a story, it says oh, the Wenatchee's down again. I'm like, oh, of course. But the Washington State Ferry System saying, no, it's not because of a problem with the new inner workings of
it's not
hybrid
the electrical system. It's not the engine. We didn't forget to plug it in. No,
they hit a log. The propeller was damaged. They hit a log.
Old as sailing itself.
Here's a question for you. The Walla Walla is out of service because of propeller damage. The Wenatchee's out of service because of propeller damage. Do you recall seeing a ton of boats being down and out of service because of propeller damage, or does this feel like it's happening more lately? I feel like it's happening more lately.
Well, I think we've got a couple of extreme examples right in the news in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, you're right. It is happening more lately. But as I kind of jokingly said, hitting something in the water is as old as navigation itself.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever piloted a boat? You ever
I've driven a boat. Is that piloting a boat? Yes, I've driven a boat.
You've been up there, and whoever the owner, wasn't you, the owner of the boat, what'd they say? Keep your eyes open, right?
Yeah, watch out.
Don't hit nothing.
Yeah.
Boom. And I think the recent atmospheric river conversion on this area and the flooding,
all the stuff that got
all the water that came down and hit the Cascades and got moved through the various river systems and pushed everything out into the sea or in the Sound, as this case may be.
Yeah, you look at all the rivers.
Yeah,
they were all backed up.
Do you remember how much debris was up in Everett?
Yeah, a ton.
I mean, stuff just got pushed out into the water, and now there's bigger logs in that water. There's trees in that water.
That could be. I had another thought.
Oh, yeah?
Let me give you a conspiracy theory.
Please do. Let me put on my tinfoil captain hat.
This is just total Jake speculation.
Okay.
I think there is not a tiny percentage of chance that the muckety-mucks at the Washington State Ferry System said to themselves, It would be really bad to start off 2026 with yet more problems with the Wenatchee hybrid ferry. Especially as we're now talking about, Bob Ferguson is saying he needs billions of more dollars to invest in this technology to make it happen.
Sure,
and yada, yada,
that'd
yada.
be a horrible look for
it would
for
be
more
really
electrical
bad from
problems.
a PR perspective
Yeah.
if we continue to have these problems that people said we were going to have and will continue to have, obviously, because we're all normal, common sense people. What if we just said a propeller was damaged?
Well, there's a photo.
Would they really know?
There's a photo of the damaged prop. Isn't that a photo of the damaged prop?
Spike.
You think maybe somebody said, "Hey, Ivor."
Is it the photo?
Ivor, why don't you slap on a set of
Don't they have a bunch
mask
of
and a snorkel?
Don't they all use kind of similar looking props?
They do. That's true. Yeah, they do.
Is it possible that it's a different angle of a different prop? This is just speculation. I'm not saying they're liars.
It's hard to rule out.
But I just, in my head, I was like, I wonder if this is a cover story.
Okay, Bob, just bring the old dented prop in here.
Like when they told us they landed on the moon. Come on, we all knew, right? We all knew. They didn't really.
Okay.
No, I actually believe we landed.
That one happened.
That
Yeah,
one I believe.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Why they brought a propeller up there, I don't have no idea.
To the moon. Interesting thought.
Because
I'd like to see the actual prop itself.
I would like to see the prop.
I mean, like i.e. Ferris Bueller. Just we'll wheel the body in here, and we'll write you excuse. We'll excuse you from your trip. Just wheel Grandma down here. We see present a body,
and we'll sign
get
off on it.
We'll get Sloan out of class. You bring us a busted prop, and we'll cancel the ferry run.
Is it possible that they just hit a log? Yes.
Sure.
Of course, it's possible.
Is it possible they don't want to have another embarrassing episode of a diesel hybrid transfer that's not in service?
Is that possible?
I think it's got to be possible. Yeah, sure.
It's a small. I'd say small percent. I'm saying it's not high percentage, but I'd say in the sub 10%.
It's probably a smaller percentage than maybe hitting a log. Like you almost have to try to hit a log out there in that sound.
Also,
right?
Aren't they hitting logs all the time?
They're bouncing.
Aren't they hitting logs all of the time? Yeah. How big are these props? How big are these logs? We're not running over redwoods here, folks.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
These are big boats.
This last atmospheric river event may have pushed bigger wood into the water than we're used to seeing.
I guess that's possible. That's also a possibility.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you've changed my mind. Could be that we have bigger logs in the water. That's
big
also
float.
possible.
Big float. The big float conspiracy.
The big float conspiracy. I like that. I don't know. I'm leaning towards. It's possible that it's just the propeller actually was damaged.
So you're saying trust but verify?
Trust but verify.
I like it.
Yeah. Speaking of verify, this is interesting. You now will be able to verify something that you absolutely should have been able to verify immediately.
Okay.
Did you see what the UTC has just ruled? The Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission, the UTC.
This is about where my money's going?
They are now saying that you can be shown on your bills that are affected by the CCA, the Climate Commitment Act. They're saying that you can be shown now exactly where that money is being spent. So like, for instance, on PSE bills, when the CCA first went into effect back in, was it 2021, right?
Yeah.
In 2021, those the cost of those started showing up on PSE bills.
Yeah.
And PSE was like, well, our customers are going to be upset that we have to charge. I forget what the number was specifically. It was like 6% more or something like that. Customers are not going to be happy that they're going to have this little extra charge. And we would like to show them that we're not just raising the cost willy-nilly for them.
We actually came up with, there's a formula for coming up with that number, that increase on you.
Yes, that number, we know where it comes from. We know why the customers are having to pay it. We feel like customers should know why their bills are going up, unannounced. And the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission said, nope, you can't tell them where that money's coming from, where it's going. Now, why would they do that? Now, the goal of the CCA originally was they want to, and they're still trying to do this. They want to reduce emissions in our state in 2050 by 2050 by 95%. I don't know why they just didn't make it 100. I thought did they just think like that sounds ridiculous?
No one can achieve
100's
perfection.
Ridiculous,
right?
But 95 is pretty good.
Sure.
So 95%.
Yeah.
Why not make it 96? Huh? Maybe we'll get ambitious.
We can't tell you how we came up with that percentage.
We can't tell you where that number comes from. Also, we're not going to tell you actually how much carbon is being removed from the atmosphere because that would be impossible for us to tell.
Right.
So this 95% number is actually just baloney. So
Can't trust any of these numbers, man.
Why would they not allow agencies to tell people where their money was going if they're being charged more money? Why is that even under their purview to be able to say to Puget Sound Electric, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that PSE?
PSE. Yeah.
Why would they be allowed to tell PSE, no, on your bill, you are not allowed to tell people why you're charging them extra money?
How much that extra fees, where it's going to.
Isn't that a weird thing?
It is. Isn't that what the story's about? It's about to change, though? They're
So
trying
the
to get it to
story's
change?
They have finally changed it. They realized the error in their ways. Todd Myers, he's a vice president for research. He came on our show. He's a good dude for Washington Policy Center. He's part of a group that asked the Utilities and Transportation Commission to make a reverse on this because it's silly. People should be able to know where their money's going. Is what he had to say about it.
I think that the initial decision to hide that data from ratepayers was outrageous.
He talked to Como News.
So people will be able to make their own judgments about, is this cost worth it? Or is the climate policy that we're getting worth the cost?
So I guess in a statement, the spokesperson for the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission, is that right? Utilities and Transportation
UTC.
Commission. Yeah. They said that their position has just evolved on this. And
their position has evolved.
Yeah.
Faced with overwhelming evidence and public outrage, the fact that we're not telling you what we're doing with your money, we've evolved to the point that maybe it's a good idea that we tell people what exactly we're doing and trying to accomplish with their money. Whether we accomplish it or not, we should just tell them what we're trying to do.
Yes, it's evolved. You know what I think it was, honestly? I think recently Washington Policy Center scored a very big win when the state released information on how much of the $1.5 billion that they had spent already to fight climate change that had been collected from the CCA. They gave a number out about how much carbon had been taken out of the atmosphere.
Right, took a victory lap.
They took a real big victory lap. They said, look at these amazing things that we've done. And the Washington Policy Center looked at this.
Was it 40% they bragged about?
No.
Wasn't that 40% of carbon had been eliminated?
Oh, yeah. You're right.
40%?
They said 40%.
Right.
It turns out that they overestimated the number by about 8,000%.
I don't mean to laugh, but yeah.
And the Washington Policy Center directly responsible for highlighting the error in their ways.
Yeah. Well, they reached out to them and said, "Hey guys, what do you? These numbers don't quite look right.
They don't match up.
This doesn't make a lot of sense to us, and we're not experts. You are. But
yeah.
If it doesn't look right to us, can you tell us?"
And the Department of Ecology, who should know these numbers more than Washington Policy Center, since it's their job to.
Yeah. That's their business.
That's their business.
That's what they do.
They said, "Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry."
I believe the official was oopsie.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yep. Yeah.
And so they had to.
Nobody caught it.
Yeah.
Before we published the report,
and then we did 3 victory laps.
Right. And nobody caught it. Not even before the 3rd victory lap. The press release went out.
You know what's crazy too? Is like Seattle Times did a big old piece about like how amazing it was, not even checking the numbers. Like, how is it the Washington Policy Center instantly saw it and went like, "Oh, well, these numbers are ridiculous. Like, this can't possibly be true."
We speculated at the time.
Why couldn't Seattle Times see that?
You almost have to not want to see it. You almost have to look at it and not see nothing to see here. Yeah, I must have. I
think you're right.
This is 6th grade math.
Yeah,
and I'm being generous.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think you're right.
Right, you dropped a couple of decimal points.
But again, these are the people whose job it is to implement this very process.
It's hard to believe you could look at that and not see a glaring.
And also to account for its success. They're the ones who are supposed to know what they're talking about. Well, how do we trust them?
Right. Back to your question about why shouldn't they be allowed to tell people where that money goes? Because we may have the power sometime soon to say, stop taking that money out of our bank.
I think that's
out of our pockets.
I think you nailed it.
You know, that CCA, if it ever comes up for a vote again, do we want to get rid of it? If you're telling us the truth, if you're telling us where the money goes and how much it's not accomplishing, we may not just vote to continue it. Because last time it was put up for vote, it got renewed. Think
about this number for a second. If you want a number to wrap your head around, this should be interesting. The CCA is intending to reduce emissions in the state by nearly 100%. I know they say 95, but yeah. I guess that's a margin of error.
They just grabbed it out of a bag. Why not?
By 2050. Mm-hmm. Think of all the money that we are going to be that is going to be sucked out of our pockets between now and 2050. It is 2026. And in the first few years that this thing has actually been up and running.
That's about 95 years? I'm just grabbing a number.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
They've already taken $4 billion of our money from us. And they have overestimated, just in the first couple of years, they've overestimated their expenditures by 8,000% to their benefit. Now imagine how much money they were going to pull from us by the time 2050 rolls around, and then ask yourself, do you trust these people with the next 25 years of your money? If the answer's anything but no, I don't understand you. And I'm not talking.
No,
I'm talking
I know
I'm
you're
just
not
talking
pointing at me.
generally
Yeah,
to people
I
out
get
there.
you.
I
There's
don't
a lot of people
understand
out
that.
there, yeah.
That does that. They're not accountable with the money, and they're not spending it wisely. They don't even know how to account for what they're doing. So why would you keep giving them money?
Well, I myself take great comfort in the Star Trek theory.
Yes.
That we'll come up with a easy, renewable, clean energy source. We're going to figure out dilithium crystals or some such mechanism.
I got one.
To give us propulsion and clean burning eternal energy, whether it's cold fusion.
What about nuclear power?
I'm warming up, no pun intended, to nuclear.
I like nuclear.
I am.
I mean, the technology that everybody seems to hate is old Ted technology.
It is old. It is old technology. Problem was when it went bad, it went real bad for a long
That's
long
true.
time. That's the thing.
That's true.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, but I would say if you can honestly look at nuclear technology and think that it hasn't progressed with the rate of, say it just stayed on par with all other evolutionary technological progressions that we've made.
Yeah.
How could you think nuclear is still going the same mechanisms and methods that it did 50 years ago?
Yeah,
you have to be nuts to think they haven't made progress.
The nuclear technology that people
the 3 Mile Island
associate
technology.
with 3 Mile Island.
I was a teenager back in that part of the country when 3 Mile Island happened.
These predate computers essentially.
Yes.
Think about modern technology's ability to keep these things under control.
In moments like Chernobyl, antiquated technology. Fukushima, antiquated technology.
Yeah.
With regard to the type of facilities you build and how you build them, how you protect these facilities against natural disaster like earthquakes or whatever it may be, flooding.
I think we should take another look at.
I think they are.
Take another
Isn't
look
the
at
president trying to invest $1 billion to refire up 3 Mile Island? I think I read that last week.
I'd be very interested to
I think
see how they plan to do that.
He's looking at trying to see if that is a feasible rebuild or restart.
We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. There's a really interesting thing happening with homeowners. You and I both were reading this. It is fascinating. Some people got really, really dumb lucky during the recent historically low interest rates of the pandemic.
Yes.
And they bought houses, and now they do not want to buy new houses because they don't want to double their rent or their mortgage.
Right.
So they are doing something to make their current houses work for them. But it's interesting and what it will mean for the future of home buying. Stick around. We'll talk about it next.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Washington's governor and attorney general are putting the Trump administration on notice today. AG Nick Brown and Governor Bob Ferguson says they're prepared to take legal action if ICE violates the rights of Washington residents.
ICE is, to be blunt, completely and totally out of control. To say that I'm angry is not the right word. I don't have the right word for how I feel about it.
Ferguson was condemning the shooting death over the weekend of an ICU nurse in Minneapolis. The governor says he met with the head of the Washington National Guard to discuss potential scenarios here. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports more Republicans are now speaking out about the situation in Minnesota.
On his podcast, Senator Ted Cruz criticized local leaders, but he also warned the administration.
Escalating the rhetoric doesn't help.
He said they should take a more measured tone.
The politicians who are pouring gasoline onto this fire, they need to stop.
Meanwhile, Senator Rand Paul is urging ICE and other Homeland Security officials to testify before Congress, pressing for transparency on the aggressive tactics and use of force in the state. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, meantime, says he had a productive call today with President Trump. He's now sending the White House border czar Tom Homan to Minneapolis to oversee ICE operations. Washington Secretary of State Steve Hobbs has certified another initiative. This one would fully reinstate the so-called Parents' Bill of Rights. Democrats in the legislature made changes to that law last year, including removing parental access to student medical records. Let's Go Washington founder Brian Haywood is back with this new initiative to restore the original measure. In need of some new Seahawks swag, the designers at Simply Seattle already have their NFC Championship merch stocked and ready. Jake Smits is the company's VP of product.
We're talking T-shirts, we're talking hoodies, crew necks, and we are doing a couple different hats.
He says staff is working around the clock, telling KIRO 7 TV they had their T-shirt presses fired up just hours after the Hawks clinched their ticket back to the Super Bowl. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33 and check in with Nate Cox.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. We're doing pretty good out there. We cleared our collision in Bellevue westbound 520 right at 405. So it's sitting in the Gore Point. Still a little distraction of drivers, but that earlier backup is cleared out. In South Hill, we're still dealing with this collision westbound 12 just around the South Hill curve. It's in your left lane, and you're back up just past Meridian. Up in Bothell, North 405, and seeing scattered backups building from 160th up to 527. South 405 is heavy through Factoria. Here in Seattle, North 5 is backed up between the West Seattle Bridge and the entrance to the express lanes. Then you'll clear out for about a mile and a half or so, and then just past Mercer, it thickens up again where we have that Ship Canal Bridge back up. South 5 crowded at the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. Doing pretty good. Linwood to Seattle, as a matter of fact, is just a 15-minute drive. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast now, looking at cloudy skies this afternoon, staying dry, more clouds tomorrow. Right now, 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, there's a number of interesting things we should talk about right now regarding the real estate market. Real estate. That should be the name of this segment. We should just do a normal real estate segment.
Real estate.
Real estate. Make it exciting.
They're not making any more of it.
They're not. That's what they say.
Yeah.
It's the only thing they're not making any more of. I mean, they do make houses all the time, but like land. They're not making any more land.
They're not making any more dirt.
They don't make any more dirt. That's right.
Earth's got all the dirt it's ever going to get.
Yeah. If they could make dirt, it's a good business idea. I don't know how they do it, but there you go. I saw this story. This was in the Seattle Times. Homeowners are sacrificing their yards. If you have a yard, homeowners are saying, we don't want to move because we're stuck. We're stuck.
I've been talking about this for a year and a half.
Stuck is such a tricky word. I don't like using words that aren't, you don't want to do it. You're not stuck. You don't want to move.
Mm-hmm.
But is that stuck? Stuck to me is like you can't get out.
Yeah.
You could get out.
So the missus and I have had an ongoing discussion that, our house is too big. We'd like to downsize.
Yeah.
But given that the owners behind this story, interest rates where they are, why would I give up my attractive mortgage rate I'm currently sitting in to take on a new loan at twice the rate and much higher payment for much less property?
Yeah.
So in that regard, while Melissa would like to have a smaller place that's easier to maintain, a lot less house maintenance to keep up, I spent all Saturday afternoon, all Sunday morning out in the yard. I mean, bagging up, breaking up, trimming out.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I'm too old for that kind of garbage.
Yeah.
I got knees that don't.
I understand what you mean by stuck.
So,
you feel stuck.
Yeah, because it's not a lateral move anymore for us, given our interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people feel, we talked before about people who come in and buy a home, their starter home, and this story applies to them mostly.
Yeah.
You get a starter home, and you'd like to, your family's growing, and you'd like to buy a little bigger place with a couple more bedrooms. But again, you got an interest rate that's, 3 or if not lower, a little close to.
Low. I know somebody with a 2.7.
Right, and now
2.7.
Right.
I mean, it's like almost free money. That's nothing.
And you're going to jump out to a 6 something?
Yeah. No, a lot of people don't want to do it.
Right.
And so, and a lot of people bought homes during that magical little time where interest rates were historically low. I mean, you had to be either really smart about real estate. If you weren't looking, you decided, well, you know what? We're not looking because interest rates are so low, or already looking for a house. Like my wife and I, we were already looking for a house in 2019 when these things happened in 2020, when the interest rates just dropped through the floor.
Sure.
So we just got dumb lucky, but that was our first house that we ever bought. And the idea now of, we've added 1.5 kids since then.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea of getting a bigger house, it seems very appealing to us, but then you look at the interest rates, you go like, well,
how you can do it?
It would have to be a bigger house. So it's going to be more expensive, and the interest rates on the current house that we have, our mortgage would be double at the current interest rate.
So you need more house, and you can't refi.
So
what do you do?
So Seattle Times details all these people who are just saying, well, I don't need a yard. I'm going to just build out on my house.
Grass is overrated.
Yes.
That's nobody's really saying that.
But they are saying I would rather add an extra room or an extra 2 rooms and a second floor, push it out, make it, extra space in the
Family
house.
room with a couple of bedrooms on top of it, maybe another bath up there. Boom.
Not a bad idea.
Right?
The problem is that you do, especially on new construction, they just don't really build yards anymore.
No.
A lot of the new homes are all the footprint of all these homes. It's like, if it's a 4,000 square foot lot, a lot of these new houses are 3,000 square feet plus.
The footprint, yeah, you bet.
So you might have a 500 square foot yard.
Right, they find out what the exact
Which
allowed
is a patio.
Right, they find out the exact allowed maximum footprint is, and that's what they do. Because nobody's selling big yards anymore.
No, they're not.
I told you about my neighborhood. You can drive through the areas near us, and it was a time when people got yards the size of football fields. I'm not exaggerating. And what you look through and what you got is a house in their backyard. Everywhere you go in my
the
neighborhood.
ADUs?
Yes.
Yeah.
But not just a little mom and pop, not a rental. I mean, a full-blown home as big as the one that's on the street. There's a driveway running next to the house and a second home in that backyard. And they've been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Up in our part of the north part of Seattle, just north of the city limits in most of the neighborhoods I'm talking about.
Sure.
I mean, these were the time when big lawns were. That's the American
That's
dream.
what people expected. You get a house, you got a big yard for your kids to stretch out in.
We live pretty close to the Innis Arden neighborhood, which is the Innis Arden story, right? It was
I can't say I do.
Frank Boeing, when he became, when Boeing became Boeing, Boeing decided he wanted a community for his managers. And so he bought this hillside, this entire hillside.
That's nice.
Between Edmonds and Seattle, basically. That whole northern shoreline area, Richmond Beach area. Shoreline, actually, it's good south Richmond Beach. But this entire hillside, we're talking, I don't know how many square miles this is. These homes were all built on this hillside for the Boeing managers. And initially, that's all that was there, was Boeing managers. The kind of neighborhood where all the wires and the telephone lines, the power lines, all below ground to not obstruct the view.
Beautiful.
Every home is situated with a view of the sound of the mountains.
Boy, that really makes a difference, doesn't it?
It's amazing.
You get in a neighborhood with no telephone lines?
You drive through you drive through Innis Arden, which is the neighborhood next to mine, and there's a covenant in this, what was once all just Boeing managers. It has since been allowed to be sold off generationally to non-Boeing employees. There was a time when there were red lines in the covenant of ownership in Innis Arden. There were red line rules about minorities purchasing their way in. This was a bygone era, right? But the point being, every yard, you can't subdivide those lots. I drive through Innis Arden, and those people have yards. I mean, big yards.
Isn't that nice?
I think they built a riding mower dealership in the middle of the neighborhood. That's how big these yards are.
I like that.
But outside of that, outside of the restrictive ownership of that private community, nobody's got a yard anymore. And if you do, you're building on top of it because you can't move.
It's pretty rare when you do, when you have kids at a certain age. Boy, is that valuable, though. But I understand there's a lot
outside and play. Yes.
There's a lot of people who are buying homes. Like the average age of a person buying a home now, they're in their 40s.
Right.
A lot of them
That's
are
kicked
either
about 10
past kid age or choosing not to have kids. And so, what do you need a big yard for?
What do you want a big yard for? Mow it all day?
It's just effort and work.
Yeah.
You'd rather have more square footage, which is what people are doing.
Yeah. They're building bedrooms. They're building dens. They're building accessory units.
It's tough if you're in an HOA because they're going to have a lot of thoughts.
They tell you what you can and can't do. Yeah.
HOAs.
Approval
You in
of
an HOA?
Marge. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
I was.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did you have to serve on it or just was subjected to it?
I was president for a while.
You were, oh, my God.
Well,
Really?
you step in because you don't want somebody else to ruin your life. You step in because you want to be common sense.
At least have a say.
At least have a say.
Yes, and how
then
things play out.
You don't want somebody else getting in there with an iron fist who's
Right.
trying to mess with the parking in the neighborhood.
You know, it's funny. We're not in this private community of Innis Arden. We're adjacent.
Yeah.
Right. So most of the people that we associate, because we're part of the pool club as non-resident members.
Oh, that's nice.
You know.
Did they have to vote you in?
Oh, yes.
Did you have to go through an interview process?
Oh, yes.
Really?
And I had to pay more than the standard residential rate. You bet.
Well, you should if you're an outsider.
Yeah. I was happy with all these conditions.
Did you put on a show when you were interviewing? Did you try to put your best foot forward?
Absolutely. I put on a collar. You know, I cleaned up. They weren't jeans. They were slacks.
Nice.
You know, I think I may have shaved. I know I got a haircut first. But I talk the talk. I walk the walk.
Sure.
I've got young kids. I want them to have the best. I mean, I sang my song.
Yeah.
And I got in.
Did what you got to do.
But then I saw what the iron fist of the HOA. These
man.
people. these little Napoleonic power corrupts.
That's just it. You give people a tiny bit of power.
They never want to let it go.
Even people who get a little bit of power in the HOA, and
They're out there measuring your
try
fence.
to rule the world from that HOA.
They're looking at the color of your door front with a swatch in their hand. That's not an approved color.
Yeah, no, it's bad news. HOAs can be rough. But anyway, people are getting rid of their yards. You might be one of them.
Sorry, we didn't get a chance to get into it deeper.
Yeah. Okay, we got a lot more coming up. We got text messages next. A lot of great ones today. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Andre. Andre, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I were going to get married, and we wanted to combine our insurance for both home and auto.
Were they able to save you any money?
The money they quoted us was actually the same as what we were paying separately. However, the coverage that we received was immensely greater than what we were previously receiving. It's quite scary how unprotected we were with our previous coverage. Under First Mark, I'd probably say we doubled the coverage that we had. It was a huge deal.
What would you tell others they can expect when they make that call to First Mark?
Take the 15-minute phone call. It's totally free. It's not going to cost me a thing. And the very least that could happen is just gain a better understanding. The best that could happen is it could either save money or get much better coverage, which is exactly what happened.
Andre did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we'd love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Welcome back to the show. We got a lot of text messages, a lot of reaction to the Seahawks, tons of stuff. Let's jump right in. Laura, go for it.
Doug from Puyallup says, my wife and I went to the game yesterday. She has season tickets. I've never been to a playoff game, and I can't describe how loud it was. The seats and floor actually vibrate like a small earthquake. What a fun time.
I was noticing, as I watched the game from home yesterday, and they kept showing the decimal meter up in the highest display boards. And they were in the 112s, 13, 15 range. How is it that we're in the 130s? The recorded of Beastquake was like 137 decibel.
The Shaheed
right, the
kickoff
Shaheed kick return was
return.
135. How is it that those were in the 130s and on the board was I heard Salk speculate about this morning and ask this question, and I've been chewing on it ever since.
That is a good question.
I need to ask somebody who is involved with Lumen how they register, what they post on the boards.
I assume that they're judging it all based on the same mic distance
Positioning
from the
and
audience.
yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
like they can't be moving that around.
Maybe. I'd like to know. I'd like to know how we were 20 points lower yesterday because it was loud.
I wonder if people were just nervous. They were nervous and...
Well, no, there were moments yesterday. To
That's
Doug's
true,
point, there were moments yesterday, and the fact that there were a lot of Rams fans in the crowd.
Yeah.
I heard from a lot of accounts, not a lot of Rams fans there. And when
should have been overwhelming Seahawks.
Right, should have been overwhelming sound.
There you go.
Luke from Tacoma says only the rich can afford to see a football game.
I mean, it's tough to argue against that when you see the prices. The Super Bowl tickets are wild.
I saw a purported social media post from Jody Allen.
Yeah.
Who raised the 12th flag yesterday and was on the podium.
Yeah, it was cool.
When they presented the Hallis Trophy, saying that she wants to look into a low-cost, like, bargain day for fans to set the hook with young fans so a family can afford to bring their kids to a game and build a fan base early and keep them for life.
It's like that scene in Jurassic Park where he and the lawyer are talking. He goes, like some sort of a coupon day.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yes.
Oh, the rich. All right, Kevin the 206 was not happy that we played that cut of the Seahawks losing the Super Bowl. He says, don't play it. Don't do it. You're going to jinx the team. Let it be. Let it go. This is a new team. It's a new time of year. Please stop.
And
Kevin,
we didn't listen.
Yeah, no, thank you. Your caution is warranted, though. Thank you.
Read Barbara's.
Barbara says we should side Marshawn to finish that play.
Now, what does she mean by that, Spike?
Bring him back.
I've seen this several times. Sign Marshawn Lynch to a 2-week contract. At some point during the game, if you're up big on the Patriots and you get close to the goal line, send in Marshawn Lynch to finish the damn thing.
Let
him run it in.
Right that wrong.
How great would that be?
That would be pretty great.
That could beat the Beastquake for sure.
I think you're right. I've seen Marshawn Lynch too. He looks still pretty fit. I mean, all these guys, once they get out of football, they pack on a little bit.
No, he's looking good. He's
good,
more
though.
active than I think he was. I saw a video of him riding a line bike to the game.
Yeah, me too.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that was
I
crazy.
love this guy.
There's no way he's as fit as he was though during his time in the NFL.
No.
You just can't possibly. But look at Phillip Rivers. If
Look
Phillip
at
Rivers
Phillip
can
Rivers,
come back,
right?
Old man Rivers, you tell me Marshawn can't come back for 1 yard?
For 1 yard?
1 yard.
He can do 1 yard.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. On safety in public after a woman stabbed in Redmond, Matthew says, hi, Laura. I came in on the tail end of a conversation where you said that you keep your head on a swivel. Also, if somebody asks you for the time or asks you to do anything that makes you look down or away, that should be a major red flag.
Yes.
Disengage. I know you are pretty savvy. My son avoided being mugged from that advice. The mugger kept asking him questions to distract him. He left when he remembered my warning. Never be afraid to yell and scream. I think that's a really good point. A lot of these attackers are counting on you, assuming they're not there to do you any harm.
Right.
Assuming that you're there just to, that nobody's going to step out of line. Yell.
Well, you talked about Ted Bundy today. He relied on that as well.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I have an injury. Oh, I'm going to make you a little uncomfortable, but you're going to feel like you have to be polite to me.
You're going to
just
fight.
Keep walking.
You're going to fight the instincts that you're feeling because you don't want to assume the worst about somebody.
Right.
And it ends in a bad situation. Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
advice, Matthew. Thank you. On the high number of cheaters in Washington State, Ben on Mercer Island says, rose are red, violets are blue, vodka's cheaper than dinner for two. Oh, man, you old romantic you.
Oh, what a sweet,
Does that come in a card?
Jesus says there's more swingers and polyamorous people here than anywhere else I've ever lived. I mean, maybe that explains some of those high numbers.
That explains it, I guess, yeah. All right, 425 says, Ashley Madison is infamous for the 2015 hacking of 37 million users. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of members suffered relationship loss and suicide due to the identities being made public. That's horrible.
Yeah, did you guys see the Netflix documentary? If you haven't watched it, it's well worth. You did, right? Yeah. That was Ashley Madison.
I forgot. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, creepy. Very creepy. All right, go for it.
On Broken
Laura,
Ferry. I'm sorry, Laura, go ahead.
Oh, on Broken Ferry propellers. John on the 253 says, I'm going to take both of your ideas on the ferry prop conspiracy and spice it up a bit. What if it's hitting something and we're about to find out there's a giant Puget Sound sea monster out there?
That would be fun.
Puget. You bet.
Puget. Is that a thing?
That's the Puget Sound monster. You bet.
Is that like
Puget.
Is that like
it's like
the
Nessie? You bet.
Nessie.
Yeah.
The Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, I've heard stories for years.
Couldn't you just call it Peter? Peter Puget.
Peter Puget?
I think that's
that's copywritten.
Climate Commitment Act 206 says maybe some of the money they're taking for climate meditation should go to sound transit.
I think it's mediation. Or mitigation.
I thought they were making me funny. For climate mediation to go to Sound Transit to pay for some maintenance. I just looked at their website. They have a total of 5 light rail stations with elevators down right now. That's ridiculous. Or just stop taking our money. But yeah, that's, I guess, if they're going to spend it.
On
something that works.
Building into your yard instead of selling your home. We got so many texts about this. Tacoma Ray says the puppet masters are at work out there in the housing industry. We took our house off the market in December, but had it on the market for 6 months and only 2 people stopped by. Crazy times.
It is wild out there with the real estate market where it is interesting though. I'm endlessly fascinated with it. I don't know how much other people care about it, but according to your text, you all care very much about it.
Quite a lot, yeah.
So thank you guys for texting in. All right, John Curley's coming up next. He still has a voice, so you don't want to miss it. He will be in here in just a few minutes.
With the world's biggest Patriot fan, he's saying? That's
Apparently,
what he's pushing? Yeah.
Who hopefully is 2 weeks away from horrible, horrible sadness. The Patriots fan, not the Seahawks.
Yeah, not
fan.
John.
He's coming up next. We will be back tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The John Curley Show.
If you do get tickets and you are lucky to be able to go,
Weekdays 3 to 7.
you have to stand the whole time. We are actually affecting the game. I took Rye to a game last year, and we were really disappointed. The people are sitting the whole time. Rye goes, I'm standing the whole game. I don't get people behind me. Too bad. Too bad. I'm here for the game. You know, what are you out there dating your sister?
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
What a good move I made. Let me tell you a quick story. I've done a whole bunch of races and a bunch of other stuff like that, and my left hip started bothering me about 5 years ago. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, you need a hip replacement. I was like, I'm 60. Yeah, we're going to ask you to wait a little while because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to go into the grave at the same time. I said, what do you do about all this pain? Well, you could, aspirin, and you could continue to do this and that and, sleep with a pillow between your legs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Then I was talking to Bob Stelton over there at the sports department. So he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I think he had his hip done as well. So I go in there. I said to Dr. Wagner, can you fix my hip? Takes a look at the MRI. Yes. So I got the stem cell procedure. I'm telling you something. This is the best. If you've been thinking about, surgery for your knee, or your wrist, your shoulder, or hip. No. Check out Dr. Mark Wagner and go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net. Your best source for local news, KIRO News Radio.